club. Where the fuck's my crown at? For dealing with these drama queens, I try to keep my conscience clean, been bursting through the seams. And this is my home, my throne. I'm not dealing with your hormones. When you occupy a glass house, you shouldn't be throwing stones. I got a couple of toys, mama's boys wanna call me out. Stop making noise, you made your choice, better watch your fucking mouth. Foolish shit, you hypocrite, your foolishness, it makes me sick. Every dog has a day, it's what to say that life's a bitch. My tank is running on empty, my patience is wearing thin. I give in, I'm convinced that revenge will be my best friend. I'm a beast on these boys, what it set me up to sabotage. Dead on arrival, ain't no reason for the triage. You don't want no drama, I don't want no problems. Keep my head above the water, keep my feet above the bottom. I done paid my dues, welcome to the drama club. I done paid my dues, welcome to the drama club. You don't want no drama, I don't want no problems. Keep my head above the water, keep my feet above the bottom. I done paid my dues, welcome to the drama club. I done paid my dues, welcome to the drama club. Nothing's ever easy in life. If it was that way, everybody would have what they wanted, right? There's a hole in my heart where the love for you used to be. Be careful what you wish for, cause now it's just a memory. It seems that only evil seeds flourish in this family tree. I'll never understand you. Your motive is a
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
Sometimes I think you planned it out. There must have been a purpose. Never claimed to be anything. My life is never perfect. Look at what you did to us. Tell me, was it worth it? The pain I feel is amplified. The words are right and justified. No longer sitting ringside. Somehow I've been crucified. The things you said you can't deny. Hope it brought you peace of mind. You didn't waste no fucking time to tell me now you're satisfied. Supposed to be my mother, supposed to be my brothers. But I'm not surprised at all that you left me in the gutter. No longer any questions, only answers and suggestions. And now you feel how I feel by the absence of my presence. I'm not ready to die, you know I'm ready to win. I spend my life on the outside, I'm sick of looking in. You know they build these walls up to keep you in suspense. I know exactly where I'm headed. I'm never coming back again. I'm not ready to die.
All right, here I am. I'm back. What's up, guys? What's up? How's everybody doing?
Started doing dope to forget the moments in between. I'll admit I've made mistakes, that's a fact I can't escape. Wanna lie to apologize, a little too late. So don't regret the things you meant to say, regret the things you said in haste. Allow me to excuse myself and give you space to menstruate. Guess I lost my fucking mind, wasting time writing rhymes, trying to justify my own life. Just someone to choose a side, you can leave behind the blame. But we all know you're the mastermind, and you can't deny you got a fucking axe to grind. So tell me how I feel, share your feelings, why conceal them? I guess I was a scapegoat, and now I'm just a villain. But my sun still shines, and my sun still sets. I know it must be hard to digest, but you earn
Credit card debt will be forgiven any day now, guys. In case you need to make a donation with a credit card, feel free. Make sure you like and share. I'd appreciate it.
This life we need a prison cell. You're fucking crazy. You're Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, not attracted to the evil, but you're flirting with my dark side. What I did was unexpected. It puts you in a
Char, I never told you that selfie was for game night. I just said, can I get a selfie? I'm doing some evil shit with that. Never, ever, ever give someone competent with Photoshop a picture of yourself. That's right, Steve. Appreciate it. Steve from Glamour Shots, the man, the myth, the legend. I've been working on the game board today. It actually looks really good. I don't know if you guys. I guess if you're in Telegram, you saw it, and a couple people in Discord saw one of the earlier pictures, but got it. It turned out a lot better than I thought it would. To be made out of freaking foam, man, it looks awesome. liked, and shared on this shit. That's right. Papa's pleased.
Another day, another struggle. Life in the fast lane. Do it for the hustle. That's the price to play the game. I think about.
I'll show the pictures of it right here, but I sent them on Telegram if you guys want to see them. It's just like I made like a little game board. It looks like the interior of a building kind of. I still got to make some walls and some stuff, but it's getting there.
I can sit back and wait for death and ingest the pressure that's caught in my chest. Turn around and use it like a bulletproof vest and invest in the stress till nothing.
Well, so to be fair, there are people that are saying like the company that owns Telegram is the same Russian company that owns Russian Facebook, and they hack and they do this or whatever. But I don't put nothing on there worth hacking, I guess. I mean, it's not like I put my fucking credit card on there or like my kids' birth certificates or anything. I mean, I don't know what's going to get hacked, but have at it. Pin the tail on the Scotty. The kids are at their grandparents', and Mariah is having a day of relaxation, I guess. All right, guys, here we go. And it's getting close.
Okay, things are happening.
And we're getting close.
Getting close. Things are happening. And we're getting close. Okay, things are happening. Getting close. Getting close. Getting close.
Something is not right here, guys. Pedo Joe showing his behind, which you can't do. It's confirmation of what we've heard. The ELECTION to the FRAUD. Got the. But
things are happening, and we're getting close. Okay, things are happening, and we're getting close. Getting close. Things are happening, and we're getting close. Okay, things are happening. Getting close. Getting close. Getting close.
Lots of stuff's going on. Everything is coming together. But this is just the first domino. First domino to start falling. I believe that. We're gonna find out. Don't take my word for it. Look into it. You'll see.
Things are happening, and we're getting close. Okay? Things are happening, and we're getting close. Getting close. Things are happening, and we're getting close. Okay? Things are happening. Getting close. Getting close. Getting close.
Quit listening to the mainstream media because they're liars. They are liars. That's what liars do. They lie. They're liars. They're liars. I can't believe they would lie. You might say, okay, Brad, well, what's going to happen now? Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think we all know that.
We all know that I don't know. But we watch me like I do know. It's very, very strange. Welcome everybody. I'm Will Bird, and this is the Cold Beer Confessional. That was the remix from BT. Shout out to Jay Reese Music, BT Music, Groiper Artwork, and Raina Artwork. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate all of that. The stuff that you guys put into the show. We're still using it. It's still coming out, and probably gonna wear it out, honestly, because I can't draw worth a shit. But again, thank you guys for joining us. Sorry for the late start. I was working on some stuff for game night. I hope you guys will join us for game night. I know it's not my regular stuff, but I'm hoping to build a decent community over there, and that'll be a channel that, I won't have to worry about it getting banned all the time. Every other channel I have, I'm constantly worried about if YouTube's going to take somebody's side and get me banned, but at least not here, not so far. I'll show you what I was working on because I was just talking about it. Hold on just a second, and let me get this open. Thank you for joining us. We're going to do a show today. We got some stuff going on, some people mentioned in the news, some big things happening, some not so big things happening, just different things. We're going to go over some stuff, hang out, have fun. It's a Saturday night. It's not going to be too in-depth. I've got some stuff that Jordan Sather exposed today, which is pretty cool. We can check that out. He made a post, but yeah, check that out. Here's what I was working on. It's the interior of a building, and some of the walls aren't finished, obviously, but here's a picture of it. So that's like it's a floor, and then these dots are laid out in inch by inch squares, so you know how many places you can move when you move. We got 4 tables. This is going to be a bar, but that's the bar top. It's not painted and not on anything yet. And then this is a wall that separates what'll be depending on what the building is. Right now I'm setting it up for like a restaurant, so there'll be a kitchen back here and an office, with some restrooms. But later on, this might be like a storage room, or this might be like a much smaller room or whatever. But right now I got a cobblestone entrance into a little building, and we're going to play on that. It'll be pretty fun, I guess. I've got a whole storyline set up. I think it'd be pretty fun. But we'll have to check that out. It's like a crossover thing, so I think you guys will enjoy it. At least the first one's like a crossover. It has to do with like stuff I cover on my show, but it's like in game form. And the first 6 players are Zay, Raina, Shar, Yori, Josh, and M Seeker. And then after that's going to be a 6 weeks game, 6 weeks of game. And then after that, then we'll switch it up, and we'll get 6 new players, and we'll go ahead and play it. And I'm going to build a set for probably each show. We'll have something like this. I've been working on this one for about 2 or 3 days. There's another picture actually. Hold on. Earlier, this kind of shows the wood grain a little bit better. This is before I put like the tables in and stuff. Covered up some mistakes. Anyways, but thank you guys for joining us. I'm Will Bard, Cold Beer Confessional. If you want to support the show, make sure you like and share, comment, hang out, have fun. Let your voices be heard. If I don't agree with you, I'll just make fun of you relentlessly. But, if you didn't get, first of all, about the game, if you didn't get in on the first round of like the main characters, you can still be. I've got people that signed up to be like you could play like a henchman, you could be like a guest bad guy for 1 week, or you could be a witness. They're gonna have to like investigate to like figure out where they're going. They're gonna have to talk to people. You could be a guest witness. I'll give you the lines you're supposed to say if they ask you certain things, and the rest of it you just kind of make it up, whatever you want your character to be. But you can do that as well. It'll be pretty fun. But anyways, make sure you like and share. If you're on Facebook, like the page and like the video and share it. If you're on YouTube, like the page, subscribe to the video and share it. Yeah, you can join us. Make sure you get it sent out there. You can start a watch party, whatever you want to do. Share it somewhere. If you want to go above and beyond that, I've already started the bot, but I'm going to make sure it's running. You can go to cultclub.com, KULTKLUB, cultclub.com, or buymeacoffee.com/cold beer, buymeabeer.com/cold beer. Both of those work. We appreciate any donations. That keeps everything running. And yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with us and the donations and everything else. We'll go ahead and get started. Right off the bat, I'm sure you can see what's going on here. I'm not a fan of the Daily Beast. Like, I'm not, I don't read the Daily Beast. I'm not interested in Daily Beast. I'm not saying they're nonpartisan or a good source, but it's still like, it's still relevant that they're covering Scott McKay, right? That's right. It's a crossover. You're right. You got me. Yeah, you'd be like a minor character. You would just appear 1 week. Like, you might even go with them to like, to what they're doing or whatever, but you'd just be there for 1 week. Anyways, From the Daily Beast, this is Will Sommer. This is the same guy who wrote the piece on the Trump coins. If you guys remember where there was a piece that came out in the Daily Beast about the Trump coins and how QAnon people were promoting them and selling them, blah, blah, blah. It's the same guy who wrote it. Meet the tomahawk-toting QAnoner terrorizing school boards. Stick a fork in it. Patriot Street Fighter. And he got a little cleavage shot. Look at the shadow. If this man's a human sundial, it looks like it's about 11:15, and I would say that's accurate within 7 or 8 minutes, probably. Scott McKay has marshaled his fan base to engage sometimes hostile activism at school board meetings against mask mandates. The audience at a meeting last month of the Yankee, Iowa school board exploded over the prospect of the board reinstating a mask mandate, with parents shouting at the board members who supported the mask rule. Oh, by the way, the reason this is a big deal, the reason we're reading it, the reason it's relevant is, one, it's Scott McKay. Come on, tits and tomahawks. The other reason is because this narrative makes us all look crazy. This narrative makes us all look like idiots. This narrative screws us all. It's not just Scott McKay and his followers. They're labeling everybody. We know where you live, one parent yelled at the school board members. We're going to stalk you. The scene which ended with the voting to reimpose the mask rule looked like so many other school board meetings across the country this year over coronavirus restrictions. But the Ankeny? What did I call it earlier? I called it Ankeny earlier, but that's wrong. Ankeny School Board has become a larger flashpoint in the fight over the mandates in schools, thanks to a large part to a leather-clad, tomahawk-toting QAnon personality named Scott McKay. One more time. A leather-clad, tomahawk-toting QAnon personality named Scott McKay. Tits and tomahawks. McKay scooting the big boot. McKay, a middle-aged former bodybuilder whose followers call him Patriot Street Fighter, has used his sizable online platforms and frequent use of violent rhetoric to turn the Ankeny mask. Now I'm confused. I'm thinking about it too much. Ankeny mass debate into national event among followers of the QAnon conspiracy theory, using his followers to bombard specific school board members with complaints. Despite his bizarre demeanor and online, very bizarre, and online presence, McKay has marshaled his fan base to engage in sometimes hostile activism at school board meetings against mask mandates, despite his recent experience with a COVID outbreak at one of his rallies. McKay inserted himself in the Ankeny mass debate in late August when he devoted an episode of his online Patriot Street Fighter talk show to the Iowa Mama Bears. These are the Mama Bears that old Dougie tried to, my job's hard, literally. Look at my penis, ladies. You remember that guy. Ankeny mothers Emily Peterson and Kimberly Reeks. The pair have become rising right-wing personalities with their opposition to mask requirements in schools, bombarding with Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds and QAnon celebrities like former Trump National Security Advisor Mike Flynn. That was hobnobbing. That's a weird word. During the interview, the woman urged McKay's viewers to specifically contact pro-mask mandate Ankeny school board members. Amy... Oh, God. Tagliarini and Lori Lovestad. McKay, who uses fork as a euphemism for fuck in what become a sort of catchphrase for his fans, urged his audience in menacing terms to carpet bomb these boneheads with emails and beat the shit out of them. You forking scumbags will not walk away from this clean, McKay said in his video addressing the school and board members. Believe me, because when this army, the Patriot Street Fighter Nation, comes at you, you're forked. So I would say, I can't believe an actual newspaper is writing this shit. Whatever. So I would say, run the white flag up the pole now, because if you haven't realized at this point with these ladies that they're coming, all you shitheads, there will be nowhere to run. There's nowhere to run. You're all hypocrites. You're forking scumbag losers. Oh, God. McKay said he wanted to see a world where officials like Lovestad and Tagliarini were yelled at and scorned wherever they went. Okay, Lori Lovestad, you have now been called because this particular episode is probably going to get you 500,000 to 1 million views, McKay said, later adding, you want to be famous? Now you are. Well, it doesn't actually work like that. You've called me out so many times, I'm not famous. In the school board video, McKay also promoted the idea of using violence against police officers who enforce coronavirus restrictions. Sooner or later, we the people show up with arms outnumbering you 50-1, McKay said. Then at that point, you're going to have a decision to make. Do you want to go home or do you not want to go home to your family? That's pretty fucked up. It's a pretty fucked up threat. McKay didn't respond to a request for comment. Lovestad, citing concerns for her and her family's safety ahead of the anticipated Patriot Street Fighter event in Iowa, declined to comment. McKay's ability to direct his audience to harass the school board members demonstrates hyper-partisanism, anger, now targeted at school board officials across the country. And it reveals how the rights focus on the right, not just these crazy people, but the rights focus on school boards this year has allowed fringe figures who openly advocate for violence to grab the spotlight. McKay styles himself as a sort of QAnon biker. Sorry. McKay styles himself as a sort of QAnon biker, frequently wearing leather chaps and a leather Harley-Davidson in his public appearances. He rides a motorcycle with a Patriot Street Fighter paint job. Last weekend, McKay posed in the crowd at a Trump rally behind the podium in his leather outfit. They're talking about that picture where it was just him. And he's like, oh, Secret Service put me right behind the president. Oh, man, they moved me. They moved Scott McKay, the Patriot Street Fighter. Oh, Scott. Really, dude? I think... God, that picture is so funny, too. Hold on. I got to get it now. Now I want to talk about it. The picture is the funniest part. Hold on. Oh, God. Oh, man. Looking cool, bud. Looking good, Scotty. Looking good, man. God, I wish so many people wish they were you. It's envy is what it is. It's envy, Scott. Oh, in his leather outfit. But nothing is more crucial to McKay's branding as the Patriot Street Fighter than his tomahawk. McKay poses for pictures with his fans with a tomahawk, uses it as a prop on stage, and incorporates it into the Patriot Street Fighter logo. McKay has told his fans that the tomahawk, which includes a pipe-like fixture he claims can be used as a peace pipe, represents a threat to politicians and government officials. Following traditional QAnon thinking, McKay claims the world is run by a 1,400-year-old cabal that commits satanic rituals against children. At a rally in Nebraska, McKay explained the tomahawk's significance. If Democrat officials, McKay claims, make up the cabal, will resign peacefully, he'll share the peace pipe with them. But if officials refuse his demands, they'll face the tomahawk. It's symbolic of what we are going to do to the political class in this country, McKay said as he cut the air with the blade. Swing! Later adding, if they choose to maintain their current course and the destruction of humanity, the only thing left in this peace pipe is the blade of war of the American people. It's difficult to gauge the exact size of McKay's audience because he often creates new channels on platforms like YouTube after earlier accounts are banned. Still, he's clearly managed to amass a somewhat large audience that's willing to turn out to see him in person. Starting in the summer, McKay started touring the country, often speaking to crowds of hundreds at each stop. McKay's tours raised enough money to pay for a wrapped bus that declared him the full-throttle truth hammer. McKay's rallies play host to some of his most violent language. In an indoor July 11th rally in Pennsylvania, McKay addressed the audience of hundreds of unmasked people with his Tommy Hawk in his hand and the butt of a handgun sticking out of his waistband. McKay urged them to become involved with their school boards, then quickly transitioned to imagining the deaths of his political enemies. God, this is like the worst guy for press. I can tell you in the long game, this doesn't stop for me until these people that are doing what they're doing to these kids are dead, McKay said. I'm going to keep raining down this thunder. I'm going to do it every forking day. The Pennsylvania rally took a turn a few days later when McKay and a number of his associates, including his 81-year-old father, became sick. In posts on their social media app Telegram on July 19th, McKay acknowledged that a number of people who attended the rally had become ill with an unspecified disease. But McKay added that he was taking hydroxychloroquine, suggesting that he had contracted COVID-19. Many people came down sick from the Penn State event, McKay wrote. Many of you have heard about it, and those rumors are true. Minutes before posting about the apparent coronavirus outbreak at his rally, however, McKay posted a picture of himself lifting up his mask on an airplane to flaunt the mask rules. As McKay and members of his entourage remained sick on July 22nd, he began to blame the outbreak not on lax coronavirus safety measures at the Pennsylvania rally, but on a toxin attack from the deep state. Man, a toxin attack from the deep state. Tell me this guy would ever be good press for any movement ever. He's like the antithesis of good press. You couldn't get worse press than Scott McKay's press. On July 31st, McKay announced that his father, a well-known figure to the Patriot Street Fighter fans who called him the General, had suffered a stroke caused by coronavirus. The targeted attack on the Penn State event that took down my team and my entire family resulted in a COVID-clotting massive stroke to the General, McKay tweeted on July 30th, blaming the deep state motherfuckers. It's really sad his dad died, but deep state motherfuckers. On August 6th, according to an obituary, McKay's father died. McKay has insisted his father's death was caused by shadowy forces, vowing massive retribution. While some prominent one-time QAnon promoters like Marjorie Taylor Greene have distanced themselves from the conspiracy theory in the wake of Donald Trump's defeat, McKay has continued to embrace some of the most outlandish facets of the QAnon belief, even adding on some of his own. In a recent broadcast, he declared that Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat from New York, is secretly an anti-Democrat white hat working for the conservatives. AOC is a white hat that is running an operation to completely demolish the left, McKay said, adding that Ocasio-Cortez had been paid $52 million in funds to an offshore account by benevolent forces to bring down the centuries-old cabal. Along with the Iowa Mama Bears, McKay's show has become a hub for other coronavirus conspiracy theorists. A Canadian police officer is under investigation after appearing on McKay's show. That is the latest Scott McKay story. So there are people that believe that Scott McKay is a good guy, and he's trying to do this for good, and he's trying to bring down the deep state. What do you call this? This fucking looks horrible. There's also people that believe that he's like inserted to make everybody look fucking crazy. Here's the evidence. Like, this doesn't look good no matter what. No matter which way you spin it, this looks bad, dude. This looks bad. Very bad. Hub for conspiracy theorists. You know what this is going to cause? You know, I know exactly what this is going to cause. And maybe you guys don't remember that we already went through this once. You guys remember when the adpocalypse, the first one, that first adpocalypse happened on YouTube? This is going to cause, in about, I don't know, 3 to 6 months, this is going to cause one of the greatest purges on YouTube that you've ever fucking seen. Anybody who's ever said any word that started with the letter Q, Scott or McKay, everybody's gone. Everybody. It'll be a giant purge of YouTube, and everybody's going to get fucked. All because this idiot's running around. So we'll see you later, guys. I guess I know I'm getting banned. When it comes down the line, I'm getting banned. He's done a couple interviews. I want you to see this one right here. Now, Johnny sent me these next couple videos. I want you to listen closely to this one specifically at this point where I've stopped it. He kind of admits to something here that I think we should clip and take out of context as often as we possibly can. Let's listen in. Oh shit. Yeah, you ain't got no sound, do you?
Just is. And so there's no, when we're not living in a type of system that's predictable, that applies across the entire spectrum of life, there's always going to be disruption. And then when you try to address that disruption, and you have to do it through these people or to these people you're talking about, these Marxists, they always break down into name calling. The first thing when
they always break down into name calling. This guy is, what is the guy's name? This is David Clements, Dr. David Clements.
When they cannot intellectually back up their position, the only thing they have left is to call you a racist, a bigot. You know, I'm now being called a terrorist. I'm a domestic terrorist. I'm like, if you're going to bring that bullshit to me, you better bring it with the respect that I deserve. If you're going to call me a terrorist, I'm not a domestic. I'm an international terrorist because I'm
an international terrorist. Several times he says he's a terrorist over and over again, domestic and international. I think we should clip that and use it as often as possible out of context. Just every time someone posts something about Scott McKay, just post a clip where he's like, I'm an international terrorist. And then just get it from there.
Like, if you're going to bring that bullshit to me, you better bring it with the respect that I deserve. If you're going to call me a terrorist, I'm not a domestic. I'm an international terrorist because I have a following all over the world outing you assholes. So anyways, just a little side Patriot Street Fighter note there I had to throw in there. But these scumbags, they brand us by the...
That's a man who said, and I quote, I don't want to be a leader. I don't want to be in charge. I don't want to have fans. I don't want to be this. I don't want to make money. I don't want to the Patriot Street Fighter thing. I just can't help it. But I don't want any of this. But also has to stop in the middle of the show and admit that he's an international terrorist because he's got fans all over the world. Those two people in Somalia that have no idea what they're watching that just tune in every week.
These names, because they can't back anything up. They're afraid of people like you, because if you were put in a courtroom and you had to defend your position or prosecute them for theirs, they know David.
By the way, this is the guy who successfully debated me, right? Here's what he's saying. They can't hold their ground intellectually, their points. They can't make them with intellect, with logic, with reason. So instead, they divert to name calling. And he also went on a 20-minute diatribe about how I'm a dime store douchebag with no balls, pussy in my mom's basement with fake glasses, redneck piece of shit. So at least he hasn't resorted to name calling yet. That's good to know. Maybe he's saving that for later. I don't want to watch this whole interview. It's kind of boring. But there is one I want to watch of his, and that would be right here. And I do not want to cut you guys out of the intro, so make sure you listen up. The best intro on the intrawebs. Here we go.
We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by the Creator with...
You can't fake that type of audio quality.
These are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly, all experience has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed.
But
When a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide...
You guys got usurpations.
...future security. The world is waking up, and this is the tipping point.
Oh shit! I forgot about the music. YouTube will pull me. Let me skip ahead here. Away from. Damn it! I don't know how much the music plays to this. Okay, it stopped.
It begins today. This is our second incursion into this.
I'm not monetized. I don't care that they won't let me run ads. That's no big deal. It's the fact that they'll literally pull the live stream off and stop it until the music stops for a little bit, and then they'll let me come back. So yeah, it's kind of bullshit.
We are taking it back. We're going to take it back. But we are going to take a moment here in honor of our hero, John Kennedy. JFK, we're going to do a prayer in his name because this tour...
We're going to pray in his name or to his name? Which one we got going on here? Seems kind of sketch.
...presents what he was looking to bring to this country. And unfortunately, he didn't get to complete that mission, as far as we know. But I will say this,
perfect audio quality. That's what I like about Scott.
Okay. I'm an amateur.
No, stay between the speakers. That's that high frequency you got, Scott.
It's a high frequency got, Scott. By the way, sorry, it looks like someone just donated on, fuck. I just refreshed it, but it looks like the Buy Me a Coffee was down. Somebody bought me 5 6-packs. I'll read the message in just a second if there is one. I have to refresh the page. I did get a notification for it, but some bitch didn't pop up like it's supposed to. Oh well, I'll read the message if there is one in just a second. Thank you for the donation, 5 6-packs. Oh, there it is. Someone bought you 5 6-packs. No message, but thank you for the donation. I appreciate it.
Check. Okay, how's that? Good.
Oh, there it is. Thank you.
So, we are going to finish the job with all the Patriot Street Fighters and with the original Patriot Street Fighter, Donald Trump. He's the original Patriot Street Fighter. Exactly. So, let's bow our heads for a minute.
Has Donald Trump ever called himself something so fucking dumb as the Patriot Street Fighter? I think you got him. He didn't come to you. I think you fucking latched onto him.
With a prayer. You know, Heavenly Father, you've kept us in amazingly good graces in America. Every force that's come at us to try to take us down.
He's back to this. He's back to this praying thing. You guys know that he does not believe in the same God you do, right? He calls it source, and he believes that it's going to turn him into a light being and gives him magical Jesus powers. That's his words, not mine. Magical Jesus-like powers. And its name is Source. He also believes it gave him the ability to heal people if he thinks about their injuries long enough. He returned a ballerina who was told that she could never dance again right back into her slippers. After just thinking about her for a while, she was able to dance the next day. So the doctors told her, "Look, lady, your toes are too fucked up. You'll never be able to stand on them again. You're done for." Got healed her toes. Boom.
Has been unsuccessful, and we do know that maybe there was a purpose for all of it, that you were going to allow us to take ourselves to the brink, to the moment of destruction, before we had the courage to look upward and look within ourselves, to raise our consciousness to a high enough level to realize that you gave us the power to bring down this satanic power structure that's got control of our planet. There's a lot of us out there who are now coming to the fight around the country. Sometimes they are attacked, so we ask that you keep that veil of protection over them. I ask that you keep that veil of protection around my team, my security guys, my driver, everybody's on the tour, Michael. We just ask.
Who? Hold on. Who's he thankful for here?
I ask that you keep that veil of protection around my team, my security guys, my driver, everybody's on the tour, Michael.
Michael? Who's Michael?
We just ask that we are out here in your name, taking the fight to that enemy, and that you give us all the protection we need, and channel the power of you, our Creator.
This is weird.
To help us bring this planet into the image that you had set forth before we were. In God's holy name, Christ's holy name, we pray.
Lynn Wood did blow up Scott McKay. He found that weird video where he was like telling everybody it was a sting operation and the military had it all and they were fixing to move in and there was watermarks on all the ballots, watch the water, all that shit. Lynn Wood shared that and sent a fucking stream of people over to Scott when he was pretty small.
This is very abnormal for me. I'm never going to get used to this, and that's where I want to stay.
That guy looks like he's having all kinds of fun. I'd rather be that guy.
The corner, you folks here, I didn't see this. Thanks for wearing the body armor. Love it. I never saw this coming.
Thanks for wearing the body armor. Love it.
I've suffered in agony for 25 to 30 years. And I can't say that I gave up. And I always believed in the people. I just didn't know what it was going to take.
Look at all these ripples, dude. He's got a 24 pack. What's that, a flat? It's more than a case.
It is all of you. I know you look here, Patriot Street Fighter. I'm going to say this a million times. About the Patriot Street Fighter.
It is, you're right. It is the Patriot Street Sweeper. It is. It is the Patriot Street Sweeper.
You people, the Patriot Street Fighters, this is how we do it. But you all are giving me an opportunity to ease my pain. You're giving me an opportunity to take this fight right to the doorstep of whoever it is. I said before, this is where I live. I keep coming after the bushes. I'm not going to stop going after the bushes because these
I've said it before. This is where I live. Come to my door. You haven't given out your address. Don't act stupid.
This is how we do it. But you all are giving me an opportunity to ease my pain. You're giving me an opportunity
What's up, BB?
to fight right to the doorstep of whoever it is. I said before, this is where I live. I keep coming after the bushes. I'm not going to stop going after the bushes because these scumbags have to be brought to heel. They have to be brought to accountability. That's every day. In all of these criminals, it's them or me. It's them or us. This doesn't stop for me no matter what, under any circumstances. And if they learned anything, taking the general, they probably thought this tour wasn't going to happen.
We're so
Warrior
sorry.
Angel.
But they didn't know how little I actually cared for my dad. I was only trying endlessly to search for his love when he basically disowned me because I was too big of a pussy to join the military like he wanted. He was more of a prop than anything else. And just like I got a replacement bus, I'll get a replacement general. I'll get a replacement dad. You guys thought this would stop me? I barely knew his name.
That's not, I mean, the fact of the matter is, we all are going to, all of us, we're going to go sometime, right? And in his case, people, we have to ask ourselves, what is more worth that risk?
I think where he says I live right here, I think this is when he started off in Dallas, maybe. I'll look at him in a minute.
It's ever been, and that the rest of the world is waiting to rise to come to rescue them. What greater or noble mission is there than what we're doing? There is none. So I'm going to tell you, we're looking forward to this tour. The best part of it for me is meeting all of you, and I'm sure there's other people wonder why I don't hang back in the green room and hang out, you know, in the behind stages and all that. And I remember somebody on the last tour said, that guy's just a poser. He's just a poser. Right out of the gate, he's just a poser.
Yeah.
Don't insult me. I'm way more than a poser. I'm a super forking poser.
I'm way more than a poser. I'm a super forkin' poser? What?
I don't hang back in the green room and hang out, you know, in the behind stages and all that. And I remember somebody on the last tour said, that guy's just a poser. He's just a poser. Right out of the gate, he's just a poser. Don't insult me. I'm way more than a poser. I'm a super forking poser. I heard recently, they're categorizing people like me as domestic terrorists. Don't give me that bullshit. Don't undersell me. I'm a global terrorist. We are worldwide.
There you go. He's admitting it. I mean, shouldn't that be enough for charges?
How you want, but you better bring some respect.
All right, let's see. They're not here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's give the benefit of about 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
To the insult.
20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27.
Who we are and what we're doing. It's far bigger than you can imagine. You know, the fear factor for these people is greater than it ever has been.
Hold on, let me go back just a second. Because I got 27 and I know where I'm looking at. So let me go back to where we're behind the stage. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. Maybe 45, 50 people there.
Down this satanic power structure has got control of our planet. There's a lot of us out there who are now coming to the fight around the country. Has been. They never dreamed. Who would have ever thought anybody would have the balls or the stupidity to stand here in Dallas and rain it down on them out in the open, right? Here we are. We're not afraid. We are not afraid. We're not afraid. We're not afraid. More body armor. We're not afraid.
Why does he keep fantasizing over the guys in the body armor? More body armor, by the way. Yeah, I like the vest. Can you lose the pants? What are you doing, dude?
That's what they're afraid of. They are afraid of us not being afraid. Save the kids. Save the kids. All right. I think he's had that shirt on before. Get scumbags. I remember. I love it. I got mine. I packed it last night. I got like 45 T-shirts in my suit. Yeah, more coming.
False evidence appearing real.
Exactly. Look, it's always perception. Perception is 9 times of the law. Perception is that they have power.
I'm assuming this is probably his kickoff thing, his kickoff meetup or whatever. He had a because the bus is parked there. He's out here saying the tour. They thought it wouldn't happen. Here it is. We're doing. I'd say this is his big send off in Dallas. Dallas doesn't seem too friendly to him. I would say a portion of these people are just walking by and they're like, "Oh, this guy's gonna do something stupid," and that's not. I mean, that's even including like the 3 probably homeless men that are there.
You heard me say this. I'm just going to be redundant right here. But here's what I'd ask you to do. Anywhere you see that we have a schedule where we're going to show. If you know people in that area, reach out to them. Say you've got to come out and support this mission. We need to have massive numbers at these events. Why? Because I want mainstream media to take a
He doesn't belong in Dallas. He lived in California for most of his adult life. California and Las Vegas.
While the Patriot Street Fighter Nation is rising. I want people to talk about us everywhere. They are talking about us everywhere. If you could listen to what I hear from my counterparts in this movement, talk about all of you. They're always bragging to me about us. Your following, the Street Fighter following is unbelievable. And I'm like, I guess I've never had one. I have no weather vane. I have no reference point. But from the perspective of these people who've been doing this for, online on YouTube for many years.
Some guy's coming up and changing out his colostomy bag.
They're like, holy forking shit. I'm thinking, well, why didn't you guys say it like this 20 years ago or 5 years ago? Nobody seems to want. This person is a fucking scumbag. Period. That's the.
Who is that? Who is that right there? You guys recognize that face and those bushy brows? You should.
Like this 20 years ago or 5 years ago. Nobody seems to want. This person is a fucking scumbag. Period.
JFK Jr., baby.
That's the bottom line.
JFK Jr. It's negative 48. Scott McKay. Scott McKay, who's supposed to be reinvigorating the Republican Party, who's supposed to be out here for us, who's supposed to be leading this shit, right, getting everybody going again. This guy right fucking here. And not only does he have this hit piece because he's so fucking crazy, making us all look bad. Making all of us fucking look bad. Now this motherfucker is dragging negative 48 around on his goddamn tour to fucking do math on every word that someone says. He's going to read every license plate going up the road and decode them. He's going to be fighting in gas station parking lots for the receipts out of the gas pumps that people throw away. Him and Jason Q fighting over them tooth and nail. They're putting this motherfucker on the road. How bad does this look for us?
That person's a fucking scumbag. And somebody needs to say, that's what they are. It's what they are. We can't worry about the semantics of language. And honestly, as I said before, you've heard me say this, this isn't the persona of Scott McKay. Scott McKay probably died on that road that day.
Just Google it. Just use Google. Phil Godlewski. Just Google his name.
Scott McKay is sitting on the bench. Scott McKay will come back.
His police record's out of Scranton, Pennsylvania.
This is done. And I'll return to the son my mother knew. And,
damn. I'm not telling people. I'm changing political parties. in name only. I'm going to keep my beliefs. I'm going to keep them hidden. And I'm going to start telling people that I voted for Joe twice this year.
You know, I'll put that harsh language in a box. But until then, fork them, even from the church stages that I speak from. And that's fun to watch the pastors. They're always nervous, man. Every one of them. See, I always give them credit because they are brave enough to have me come in the door. But it's truly that they're worried about what if I don't come in the door. Because I spotlight them, call them out. You're not going to tell the flock the truth. I'm going to tell your flock the truth about you, right? So I'm honored by these people that bring me in and allow me to speak. And each and every time, gratefully, every time, they've all got over their nervousness and usually sit in the front row. So I know that they're there. It doesn't affect me one bit. But afterwards, they approach me and had it. It's such an honor because I'll say, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" We come to my office like 10 minutes to chat with you. There's reverence they express for me. And I'm thinking inside these people, they want to bust out. They want to break out of the dogmatic parallels that they're forced into from the religious order. And maybe not the religious order that's offensive or oppressive. It's dogma, 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 dogma. That's what kills the human consciousness rise. Dogma. Get up in the morning, I brush my teeth with my left hand up and down. Dogma, I just get into that. And then you teach your kids what? Dogma. Right?
That's right. Teach your kids dogma.
Just to continue to break that cycle of harmonic rhythm. You get into a rhythm, you go in the wrong direction. After a while, it feels normal. Hey, I'm headed for a cliff. But I've been doing this for like 2 years. I haven't gone over a cliff. Rhythm, you keep going, and finally there's a cliff. Right? So it's
Dogma.
good to continue to break that rhythm of thinking, of action, because it makes our brains, if it hits a wall, it's going to be forced to change and think and evaluate, analyze what I do wrong, what do I need to do now. Don't wait till you get there. Because your power is much less when you make that correction. If you're always course correcting, looking at what's going on in society, just thinking about it, saying, you know what? I know it's always been done.
Dogma.
This is bullshit. This is bullshit. And that's what we have to do. We have to call these people out at every single turn. And because wouldn't say it's a demand, but it's what I've already said, Lynn would, just so we're clear.
Oh, God.
Any politician, state or federal office that's running, and they don't have on their campaign platform this election theft around the country, if they never bring it up, don't vote for them. I don't care if we send another scumbag Democrat into power, some criminal, at least that's the devil you do.
That's his real fucking plan. If they're not saying exactly what I say they need to say, just don't vote for them. I don't even care if they lose completely and we put another Democrat in there. Wink, wink. At least we know who they are. Wink, wink.
Versus the devil you don't know. If these people are not going to campaign to some degree, hopefully a great one, on this theft of our country through the election process, don't give them a single dollar, a dime, or a vote. I don't care how much you like them. If it was me, and I'm not talking about election theft and the stolen country, I'm going to tell you, shut the channel off. Don't come out anymore. Because if we're going to stand by and allow them to steal our country and not fight for it, there's I can't remember her name. She ran for a state assembly seat in PA. She knew for a fact, I got the evidence it was stolen. So here's how she's going to reload. I'm going to run for the state senate. I'm from Pennsylvania. That's a bad move. I'm going to torch you from now until you finally cave in before the election. Because you're not going to make it. We're going to ring you. That's why I look. I'm like, are we going already? I was loading up for it. Sometimes it jumps out of my body and bang. I'm like, oh shit, that was me. Yeah.
He thinks he's making a joke that he controls lightning and thunder. He's Thor with a gimp walk. Oh, God damn it.
I get the handshake and I go with the man. How are you? Good to see you. Got to figure that out. See, I'm a slow learner. It's good to see you, brother. this is Michael Protzman. You don't know Michael is negative 48. I got 2 calls yesterday from Michael. I was all, I'm not going to return this call.
I think that negative 48 intended on kind of semi staying anonymous, and probably not doing this type of shit. And then I bet you, I can almost say with some, well, I don't even say certainty. I would bet quite a substantial amount of money that Scott talked him into becoming famous and wealthy and chasing this notoriety.
It's like after midnight, and I knew I wasn't going to be getting ready. Like, I'm not doing it because it's going to be another 3-4 hours about it. But it's good to see it. Where's Tom number 2 around here? Palmer. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm going to kill the mic so I can say hello to you guys for a little bit. I'd rather talk to you personally than talk at you. And I'm really looking forward to this tour. Every video, everything you get from the tour, just stand on social media, blow this thing up, and it's going to be a spectacle. In fact,
they don't pass the hat till after the camera's in, so he can keep saying that he hasn't made a single dime off any of this. He's never made a dime, never made a single red cent off any of the Page of Street Fighter stuff.
And that's when I was in the ditch and I felt as bad as I felt. And I thought about getting another bus, getting on it. It was like I had a Pavlov's response, like nauseous, like I can't even possibly imagine. And I can't imagine. And, we got better, obviously. And, but when Juan said, I said, how important is it for me to get back out there on tour? He said it's very important, very important. I thought, oh my goodness, I wasn't ready at all.
Got to get out there. Tour time.
And we start putting it, and if you just start putting things in motion, the universe starts bringing the right energy to you. We start getting better. Things start falling in place. And here we are. We're going again. I'm so excited. I'm so honored by all of you. You have no idea what you've given me.
Oh, I bet.
You've given me finally a life worth me living. Prior to, it's been nothing but pain and misery. You people finally gave me a life. And I'm honored. I love you all.
That's disgusting.
God bless.
I'm Robin. I'm the CC coordinator for Texas. And
the CC coordinator for Texas. You know what?
This broadcast, you can find.
You know what CC is, right? You know what CC is? The connecting consciousness. That would be one Mr. Simon Parks, which kind of leads us into our next story. Scott's crazy, dude. Scott, this tour, the way he's setting everybody up, the way he's telling you not to pay for or not to vote for people, running around with a tomahawk. He's literally convincing people that it's time to commit crimes, and then where do you think he'll be when they start arresting people? The dumbass from the other channel is telling people to pull their kids out of school because they're going to do an unannounced, non-parental consent, mass mandatory jab on every child in America. But that's not fear-mongering. And Scott's convincing people that it's time to start stabbing people with tomahawks. And I say that there's going to be arrests, and he's like, oh, you guys fear-monger over there. Think they're going to round people up. What do you think arrests are? What do you think the feds are fucking doing? The FBI invents all the crimes they solve. They make the crimes, then solve them. It's really fucking easy to figure out who did it because it's the FBI and they have a fall guy there. I can't believe that people are fucking Scott. God damn. I'll just go over to fuck Scott. Simon Parks. By the way, nothing he's ever said has come true. If you want to go back through his claims, he's made claims about. He said that the inauguration would never go on. that the white hats in the military would never have it. It happened. He said that it was all his first video that blew up said it was all it was all a sting operation. All the ballots had watermarks on it. That doesn't exist. Some states may have watermarks on it. The ballot creators do create watermarks. Some states do it, but there's no mandatory ballot for all the states. So no, not all the states had watermarks on them. Most of the states that were according to Trump in contested states didn't have watermarks on them. I think 2 of them did. The majority of them don't. Nothing he said has come true. Nothing he said has happened. He's broken. He's jumped from Intel Group to Intel Group to Intel Group, feeding him his information. And now he's got some guy who owns a fucking auto shop who claims that he can predict the future by phrases and the numbers that they equal. Michael Protzman is nobody. He owns a car repair shop that he closed and now his son owns one. A car repair shop, an auto mechanic, same as hey there, man. Mike. F all these lying SOBs, and thank you for helping him to wake up, or helping me to wake up with kindness, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the 6-packs. How the hell would Mike Penny and Michael Protzman, how the fuck would they know any of this shit? They literally, one's a manager of a mechanical shop and one owned one and then retired. There's nothing wrong with being a mechanic. I'm a mechanic by trade. My dad's a mechanic by trade and his dad is a mechanic by trade. But I don't know the deepest secrets of the United States government and how they plan to defeat a 1,400-year-old evil cabal that sacrifices children. Nor would I claim to. It's fucking stupid, man. Why? I don't see how people fall down this hole. Anyways, he's an idiot. Simon Parks is an idiot. Negative 48 is an idiot. Thank you for that, by the way, Laura, for the 6-packs. I want to show you something right quick that Simon Parks posted. There's a bunch of stupid shit. Here's one of them. Q phones. This has never been brought up by Q Post. This has never been brought up by Q Decoders. This has never been brought up by anybody within the movement except for Simon Parks and Charlie Ward. Q phones are coming. Say goodbye to your iPhone. Q phones are already developed and manufactured in Germany, United Kingdom, with a final software upgrade in the United States. This smartphone is 3-dimensional. Aren't all objects 3-dimensional? There's literally, you can't, in this world we live in, you can't have a 2-dimensional. I mean, you could say like a plane, like a sheet of paper, but even a sheet of paper is technically 3-dimensional if you measure it. It still has a width. This smartphone is 3-dimensional and the highest quality. It will become one of the main tools for direct credit and expenditures in daily life for consumer, retail, and business commerce, domestically and internationally. This is a $500 billion manufacturing operation in 3 countries. Costs may increase as 7 billion Q phones will be dispersed to all people on Earth. The QFS will create its own internet that will work off its trinary code. Instead of binary, so binary code is 1s and 0s. He just made up trinary code. He just made that shit up. The same people that are claiming this is going to happen, that are claiming that the Q phone is coming, are the same people that told you 3 years ago that you could never trust giving up cash and having some type of payment system that is digital and electronic. Well, the government can control that. Well, the bad guys can control that. Well, what if they just turned off your money? What if they just emptied your bank account? What if you didn't say the right thing and they wouldn't let you buy groceries? What if? Now they're asking you to take it. Now they're asking you that it needs to be all online, and we'll issue the phone too. That way they can just turn it off if they want to, and you can starve to death. Trinary code and perhaps a G8 network for SATCOM. Where we go one, we go all. God, this guy's such an idiot. I want to see what it says. Oh, it's just the same post. It's just a forwarded post. Innovations in IT technology is where the post comes from. And let's see. None of it seems real. They're selling Trump coins on here. Chet in tribunals, executions, deaths, resigns, crimes against humanity. Our new Go ahead. Donation. Steve from Glamour Shots.
New GRIFT selling rides into fifth dimension on the number 8 Earnhardt bus. Who wants?
That's right. So you're gonna sell rides. Well, see, if you're going to sell rides into the fifth dimension and you've got a bus, you know that Dale Earnhardt has to be the driver, right? You'll have the fastest bus. You'll make more money because he'll be able to get there and get back before a regular bus driver could even get started. You have to get Dale Earnhardt to drive the bus. Thank you very much, Steve from Glamour Shots. I appreciate it. So that's Simon Parks claiming that there's new Q phones out. Before we hop into this other video, which is Roseanne Barr in 107, I want to watch it. Before we hop into that, though, I want to talk about something that is just a piece of information. If anybody wants to look into it, I'll be looking into it this week. But it's just a piece of information. Let me grab it right quick. This was first put out there by, as far as I know, where I found it from was Jordan Sather. Now, it could have come from someone else. That's true. But I saw it from Jordan. So that's where I'm going to give credit to for now, because I don't know where he got it from or if he actually searched this stuff or what. I didn't actually ask him. I just said that I was going to look into it. Let me grab it right quick. Where the hell did it go? Did they comment or something? Hold on just a second. I'm looking for the channel. There it is. Damn it. Sorry, I searched the wrong word. I misspelled it. All right, here we go. Now listen. We're talking about David Wilcox. David Wilcock, who is the guy who stares at the cameras aggressively. It's like David Shilcock, Intel lady makes fun of him. He's a UFO guy. I've figured out who David Wilcock's new insider Ben is. This detail isn't a secret. David has let slip in previous lectures his real name is Christopher Beskar. He is the CEO of a company called Stavati Aerospace. This company has yet to produce any aircraft whatsoever, so I'm not sure how major it really is. This company seems to be perceived as a joke on social media since they submit proposal after proposal and seem to never get anything developed or built. But they've been around for 25 years. What have they been doing all this time? What's interesting is that Stavata has recently purchased a hangar in New York. This is at the undisclosed location featured in one of Wilcox's recent YouTube videos, with $1.5 million in cash. This is apparently where they plan to develop their hover cars. Quite a bit of money for an aerospace company with no aircraft. Is this company a joke or a shell corporation or something else? Just curious. Wasn't Wilcox also asking for donations in a recent video to help his company out? David Wilcox tells his audience that he has at least 15% equity in this company. Stavati as well. So he's selling a paid course, The Disclosure, for $333, so people can listen to an insider, which happens to be the CEO of an aerospace company that David Wilcock is also invested in. All while this information is actually not a secret. It is also claimed by Wilcox that Beskar is from the Pete Peterson lineage. Well, I think that Pete fella was full of crap, so I'm curious to see what claims from and about this CEO are. How much money is needed for those things? Isn't this the kind of information the world needs for free right now? Why not be open and upfront about it, about all this? Is money that is being collected through the Wilcox charitable 501c3 being diverted to a private company that he has stake in? Everything I'm typing here is open source information I was able to find with a pretty simple Google search last night. All these details are not secret. I have also figured out the identity of the individual behind the popular clickbait blog Real Raw News. Real Raw News. Michael Baxter. But his real name is Michael Tuffin. Tuffin. Michael Tuffin. Tuffin. And he has more than one clickbait blog online. Another one he used to run was called twistedtruth.net. Twistedtruth.net. That one is even more ridiculous than RRN, Real Raw News. And that's saying something. Michael Baxter Tuffin has created multiple GoFundMe accounts in the past, basically one for each of his blogs that he produces. He raised over $10,000 earlier this year through a Real Raw News GoFundMe. This man is making money off absolute bullshit stories. And it is sad that we have influencers who are promoting this website as the truth and enabling this sort of scamming. Amazing what you can find with a little digging on the internet. So I like the Wilcox angle. I like his insider angle. I like the aerospace, but that's not as much up my alley as Real Raw News is. I really like the idea of finding out the man behind Real Raw News, Michael Tuffin. He also ran a show called The Twisted Truth. Twistedtruth.net, .net, and realrawnews.com. And Twisted Truth is the same kind of shit that's going on. But it says he used to run this site. Maybe he doesn't run it anymore. Or maybe he's abandoned it. It looks like the latest story was in 2020. Yeah, just looks like it's not that he doesn't run anymore. It looks like it's abandoned. 2020 was the last story that was on here. Anyways, that's very interesting to me. If you guys want to look into it, be my guest. I'm going to be looking into it. Michael Baxter. That might be a misprint. He might have meant to put Baxter and spelled it with an E. But anyways, Michael Baxter and Michael Tuffin. Michael Tuffin is who we're interested in. And if you want to check out David Wilcox, it's David Wilcox, and the other name is Christopher Beskar. Beskar. Christopher Beskar. Beskar. Those are some names to look into if that's your sort of thing. And other than that, we'll move on to the next one. We're going to get to the bottom of that Real Raw News. That's causing a lot of fucking trouble. There are still actual people who think it's real, who think the satire disclaimer that's on the website that literally says this is bullshit, this is all satire, none of this is true. That's just to throw off the government or just so they don't get in trouble for sharing all the secrets. Really, that's not going to save them from sharing military secrets, such as intel or trials or whatever. That's not going to save them at all. Instead, that's just going to make them easier to find because they're the people sharing it, whether they're claiming it's a lie or not. You still can't share military stuff that's going on. Dumbass. Anyways, here we go. This is the latest Roseanne. Well, maybe not the latest. Oh, donation.
Buckle up, motherfuckers.
Dale Earnhardt making a donation. Buckle up, motherfuckers. Buckle up, motherfuckers. Thank you very much for the donation, Dale Earnhardt. I feel like I've heard your name before. I can't quite place it. Something about raise hell, praise Dale. I can't remember. 3 in the sky till I die. But thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. I misspoke. This is not the latest. I'm sure it's not the latest. It's actually a little bit older by the time that I'm watching it. It was for the 15th. That's not too old. That was yesterday, right? Anyways, this is the Roseanne Barr 107 discuss the Red Sea moment. 107 Roseanne Barr, the Red Sea moment. Here we go.
All right, guys, we're going live. Ready?
Yes.
3, 2. That was a cute smile, Roseanne. I bet they caught that on the camera. Smiling at the grandbaby. That was fun.
I was going to have only my boots on for me, just have my feet,
Oh yeah.
on the side of the camera. But then I thought, well, I thought that'd be funny. But then I thought, well, I better show my face.
Well, you know what?
But I like that you always got a good pair of boots on. I like your boot collection. It's very cool.
Yeah,
I like
Poltergeist.
collection too. It's very cool.
You like my bike?
I do. Oh my God, I love it. Is that a Schwinn?
It's an actual 57 Firestone Super Cruiser. So that was like the bike. It's an original. It's got just a couple of parts that are remanufactured. I think the front springs up here, and then the springs under the seat. But the rest of it's all the original.
Is it a Schwinn?
Well, it's called a Firestone, and in fact,
he's already said that twice.
He had it all painted back at the factory, and that was like 20 years ago. So it's like, and it's been maintained ever since. So it's actually a very, very rare bike, and very fun.
I love those pinstripes. It's like two.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I guess it's two or three sizes. Gorgeous.
It's actually a fun segue into the show we want to do today. The movie was this trek across America, going back to Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And when President Trump had asked the American people to come be present when the vote was the Electoral College was done there at Congress on January 6th. And I was actually on my...
happened? I mean, I saw the called.
God, these people can't.
Good. It was a good movie with a good message showing good people trying to be there for other good people in a good cause. For our country.
What the hell are you rambling about, Roseanne?
What the hell's going on with the whole... I mean, what is going on? What happened that day?
You know exactly what happened.
The American people did not show up to do violence. In fact, that's what the call shows, is the people that were present that day. And they were there to be counted, but they weren't there to do violence. That was people doing a false flag. And in fact, even the FBI, and even the FBI, even the FBI has had to back off on this whole idea that there was some intent for an insurrection. I mean, the people that were doing this whole breach of the congressional building, false flag actors. I've talked about that several times now, and to try and misconstrue us as
who are we false flagging actors?
They were there. The people were there to be counted, and as time goes on, that's the way this is going to be understood and seen, I believe. But
I'm just asking you, why did Trump invite people to come? That's what doesn't add up or make any sense to me.
Because this was
had something in his mind that didn't end up fitting what happened.
Come on.
President Trump.
The only thing he had in his mind was, how can I make myself look better? We love you. You're special. Go home. FBI, see if you can prosecute those people for the fullest extent of the law that I made come up here, that I talked into coming up here.
Congress was going to certify the election. There was all this question of whether or not the vote was valid, whether or not there was fraud involved. And for all the talk that, Arizona, the fraud didn't exist, and the count's the same now as it was then. No, the count's the same. The question is, now we move to the next level, which hasn't been released yet, but will here shortly. The forensics. Were the ballots that were counted, were all of them legitimate legal ballots? They had ballots that were printed on 8.5 and 11 paper in copy machines. Those were not valid ballots. They have ballots.
Because they send you a fake ballot in the mail.
The issue was that those machines were not supposed to be accessible to the internet, because then anyone could log on and change the vote count. And that, to me, was what the whole thing's about. They said over and over again, Dominion and them, they said, no, these were never hooked up to the internet. So, you know,
Oh
they've
God.
been proven over and over again, including by their own admission that that was an untrue statement, that they had indeed been hooked up to the internet. So that proves right there that they lied and that there's fraud. So how many times do they have to prove it? And
Oh God.
this, as far as common sense,
She's on a ramble right now, guys.
being outlawed in our country, is
I
common
think a moth landed on me.
being outlawed. It's illegal to have common sense or to
What the hell? Did he just hold up his drink for no reason at all?
common sense. That is what is being outlawed. It's illegal to have common sense or to work
He's trying to prove to people he's a real human and actually consumes beverages.
for the common good of the common people.
Yeah.
But for people to actually think after all the polls they've been doing all this time of right to life and what people's actual opinions on abortion are, from the gamut from the far left to the far right, most people of all those groups are against live birth abortion. Most of people in this country.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that
Most of the people.
80% of the voters, or 85 million voters, rushed out to vote for that, to vote for Biden, and that right there, that proves that it's fraudulent.
Well,
there you go.
Did you see?
You've got it. You got it all figured out, Roseanne.
That
former actress turned crackpot
on the shot, which isn't, by the way, it's a mRNA modifier. It's
oh God,
by any classical definition, but that test program did include cells from fetuses. Well, obviously, if they're cells from fetuses, they mean from aborted children. So what
fetal cells
did tissue or cell material from aborted fetuses have doing in the test program? And then others have asserted that it's also in the shot that was actually released. Well, that hasn't been stated or proven that I'm aware of yet. But if
none of this has been proven, guys.
Let's say you removed it, then how?
Stop saying some things happen. None of this is proven.
Resemble what was done in the test program. Whatever the test is supposed to be what the actual end thing that goes out. And of course, we know that it was not approved by the FDA for human use. It's still in the classified as an experimental drug, and then compelling or forcing people to take it is a violation of the Nuremberg Code. This is going to blow up in people's faces that are pushing this, and it's not that much further down the road. And of course, anytime you talk blood, what are you talking about? You know, we're at this Red October moment, and even what you and I
oh
were
God,
privately, it's
Red October, of course.
Moment for the children of Israel. This is a
did someone part the sea?
Everything red China, red in the economy, red in these military terms, inflation,
and red in the balance books,
red in the balance books,
because they're negative.
Government shutdown
like 48.
Oh, only maybe till December. You know, one thing that's not even fully understood is, you know, the reporting for this third quarter is due October 15th for the corporations, government agencies with the inflation, etc. Things go wonky, and that could get narrowed down very dramatically. It's like saying we're good to go for a couple of months after we start the exodus of Afghanistan, and 3 days later, China's in there dismantling our Plata spy aircraft, and our people are on the run to get out of the country.
Our Plata spy aircraft.
You know, their timing.
Two negative. You are right. Two negatives do make a positive.
Might not be
Satan's little helper. Negative 48. 216.
So am I crazy? Of course.
Yes. Wait. Full stop. Yes. Yes, you are crazy. Full stop. By the way, The Hunt for Red October is a really good movie.
Yeah, you are. But am I crazy to think I'm not getting the real truth about, are we in a war with China? Are we in a war?
I think that's a valid question. You know, if they're, let's go back to the vote. the places where this was orchestrated from, and the people involved, ultimately the contention is that it was orchestrated out of China. And even the Dominion machines were manufactured in China. So if you attack digitally with a fraudulent stolen vote to capture control of a country, that is considered an act of war. So if China was involved in digitally twisting and flipping the vote, that's an act of war. Then we're at war with China. And because the leadership is then not valid, they're Manchurians. They are under the control of a foreign entity taking the helm over America. And by extension, the world. If America is this premier power in the world, you control America and you control the fate of the world. And that's, and even China, ultimately, do you say China is its own person, or is China itself in the grip of and under the control of some supranational body or group like a James Bond movie? And that would in fact be my contention. It's far more involved, extensive, complicated than most people care to even begin to acknowledge.
Well, are they crazy or conspiracy loons when they say that China is run by one bloodline family?
Well, really, it's multiple bloodlines there. There's always going to be one that's more powerful than the others. It's like the royal bloodlines around the world. You've got 13 royal bloodlines that trace their lineage back to Cain. And they brag about.
This is from yesterday.
Themselves that they're Cainites, children of Cain. And so
I was going back to read that comment.
As Cains or kings of the earth by blood. And that extends into China, extends into other places most people don't realize. Japan. All of those.
We never heard that? How come as kids?
And Japan. We all know that China and Japan are on, real good talking terms.
Cainites.
Hey, Russ.
We never even heard about them.
Well, I mean, it's hidden in plain sight. It's the royal bloodlines.
The fuck?
And it's not that they're hiding so much as it's hiding in plain sight. You don't understand the magic. Have you ever played the game Spoons? If you played the game Spoons, I remember at kids camps, you'd play the spoons and they'd hand 2 spoons to you and they would be, crossed, uncrossed, upside down, right side up, all sorts of things. And you'd hand them to the next person. The next person would have to decide, is that crossed or uncrossed? Well, you're looking at the spoons. If they're crossed, you say, well, they're crossed. They'd say wrong. And you'd be like, well, what did I do wrong? You'd have to hand them the next person. You'd try to set them some way and they'd look at them, they'd say wrong. And while you're looking at the spoons, the whole sneak of the game, especially for the people that know it behind the scenes, is, are your legs crossed or uncrossed? And so you're looking at the spoons.
What the fuck?
It has nothing to do with the spoons. It's the legs. Oh. And so crossed or uncrossed. And even you could be in on the game, in the game, have your legs crossed. You don't know that that's what they're looking at. And everybody else that knows what's going on is like, looking at you, you're saying uncrossed, well, your legs are crossed, and you don't even know what you're doing. It's this captured operation thing.
That's a trick, pulling a trick on tricking.
Yeah, it's a trick. And then one.
Oh, you mean it's a trick, huh? You mean that's a you're pulling the wolf over the sheep's head, huh?
Once you know the trick,
yeah, you dumb bitch.
Crossed or uncrossed, it's all about the legs.
What the hell?
Not the spoons. The spoons are just a distraction. And so that's this royal thing. You're looking at all the high profiles and everything else. Has nothing to do with it. Who's the purest blood back to Cain? That's the whole royal trick. And that's why I talk about it in the book and in Kid by the Side of the Road. that's some of the stuff with the royal lineage and like that. So, but not to get too distracted with that right this minute.
But
The
why
one
do
thing
they
I
think
wanted,
it's so cool to be descendants of Cain? They think it's cool to be a murderer.
well,
Yeah, that's it. They're like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we could go back and change our entire lineage to basically the start of the world, and make sure that we're descendants of Cain? Wouldn't that be cool? If they're descendants, they're descendants. That's it.
view Cain differently than everybody else. They believe
Well,
that
obviously they still believe in the Bible, right? Where they're getting their reference of Cain.
well, it's a historical document. To these occultists, these people with their religion hidden in plain sight, they believe that Cain was the child of Lucifer, and that the sin in the garden was that Lucifer had sex with Eve, that Eve wasn't raped, that Eve was beguiled and had sex with Satan, Lucifer, the devil, and that she then went and taught Adam the trick. And so she became pregnant by two different fathers during the same birth cycle. And she had twins, children born in the same birth cycle, but of two different fathers, Cain and Abel. That's why Cain is not listed as a child.
I actually read actually, do you guys know Super Hawk? You guys remember Super Hawk? They are the people that has the most extreme camera angle. Had the live stream of the puppies being born or whatever. Super Hawk. He did an entire reading of 107's book online as YouTube videos. He did an entire reading of the book. I didn't watch that. There's no fucking way. But I watched I read a PDF copy of it.
Child of Adam. Cain is excluded from the Adamic family because he wasn't fathered by Adam. The mother was Eve in both children's case, but not the father. And so they believe that Cain, being a child of Lucifer, Satan, the devil, Samael, he goes by 1,000 names, that being a child of Lucifer, that they aren't just mere human, they're more than human. They don't look at themselves as being less than human. They look at themselves as being more than human. You want to say space aliens or something like that. A lot of people are looking for the aliens, the reptilians that have landed on Earth. The reptilians is just code, just like spoons. It's just code for children of Lucifer from the Cain side of the family, that they're royals. They're the royal blood.
Oh, that makes sense.
So they count Lucifer as their father. And that's why there's these Baal worshipers, these Moloch worshipers. And they believe that they're children of the fallen angel at Mount Hermon.
So that allows them to do the things they do.
Well, because they believe that they're more than human, that we're here to be farmed, that we're there, they are farming us, and they look at us like food, literally.
Yeah.
So it's a very
so they do glorify being a murderer then.
Well, they don't look at it as murder in the same sense as we do. They look at it as though they are farming us and we're food to them, and as the devil himself does, a means to an end. And once you kind of understand their mentality, it's a lot easier to understand their actions.
Roseanne's lost the fucking
in articles that I've
lost the plot, man. This is
at different times, and you'll find it in some of the articles I do under other people's names. Belief is the driver of action. What you believe determines what you do and how you do it. So
that's
belief,
the locos. That's the locomotive of the whole train is the belief.
Yeah, it's a beautiful way of saying it. But here we are. Let me just dive into this. I don't want to
Yeah,
lose too many
please.
people on this. Let me just dive into this. We talked about this Red Sea moment.
Who the fuck 107's an astronaut in a fucking tux? And Roseanne Barr has not looked like that in decades.
Yeah.
Red October.
Mhm.
Everything going red at the same time. I was talking with Jim Caviezel the other day, and
Sure.
he said, well, is that like when the gauges on your car start going red? The oil temperature gauge goes up, the water temperature gauge goes up, the transmission temperature gauge goes up. Something broke, something's not working right, and it's overheating, and you don't got long before something's going to blow. And so all the gauges are going red. That's Red October. Everything that can start going off the rails and go wrong is this Red October moment. The economy, Red China. The Australian defense minister said that war with China at this point cannot be ruled out, and that was just a couple weeks ago.
It's not that she just wants to know what's going on. She's in this video learning from 107. She's in other videos professing, telling other people what's going on, telling her intel. It's not just she wants to know what's going on. She's looking at everybody to figure it out. That's not what's happening. In other videos, she's telling people. She's talking about the Khazarians and the Jews and how they're responsible and how this is going on and how the deep state did this. There's a difference.
Becoming more dire by the minute, and
she's got an obsession with corn as well.
Band-aids here and there, but it's not actually going to wind down. It's going to get far worse. And Israel, with your background, your history, and that's why I wanted to talk with you about it. The whole history of Israel, as they left Egypt. You had these 5 plagues, 10 plagues that happened to get.
That's right. Tell me your career's dead.
Bondage in Egypt, and they were oppressed.
It was to make it so bad that the people would want to leave it.
Because they didn't want to. They were comfortable in their slavery.
They liked
as hard as it was, and they didn't. It was what they knew.
Mm-hmm.
So to go do something different, they didn't want to leave. And so the Egyptians didn't want to let them go. And they, frankly, didn't want to leave their slavery.
No, they didn't. They were comfortable. It was what they knew.
They had to be almost driven.
Look at what is this? What is all the corn shit going on?
And then when they did get free, they get out to the Red Sea, and of all the miracles that were done to that point for the nation,
some type of obsession, huh?
The great one at that point was the Red Sea, when they were there at the Red Sea and the sea was parted and they passed through on the dry ground. But everything that led up to that, till that moment, you think of these great
My clone made me do it.
30 Cow Gal, $5 in the Colt. My clone made me do it. Thank you very much, 30 Cow Gal. I appreciate it.
incredible miracles. And
I'm going to jump ahead in a minute. I know it's kind of boring.
Was the Red Sea.
It's interesting to me.
This moment that America's in. We talked.
It's interesting in the way that 107 is a great con man. He's convinced people that he is friends with Donald Trump, and I don't think he's ever met the guy. He has convinced people that he is personal friends with Donald Trump. Scott McKay says, 107 sometimes has information, sometimes he don't. I know he plays golf with Donald Trump about once a month. He's convinced people he's personal friends with the former president of the United States.
Actually, now almost 2 years ago, we did an interview talking about this election and the period of the election being like the Book of Esther. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And
yes, I do.
In that Esther discourse,
yes, she do.
we talk about the flip. There's two parts to the flip in Esther. There's the part where Esther has this big party feast, and it's 2 nights in a row because one wasn't enough, where she brings in King Xerxes. And then at the very end of the second night, she explains to him that she's under a penalty of death, that there's this mandate that's gone out that on a certain day out in the future, that all Jews have to be killed, and she's a Jew, and so is Mordecai. And here the king had been partying with Mordecai and Esther 2 days in a row over at Haman's house. And the other person that was present was Haman. And so they're all drinking and partying, they're best buddies. Haman's yucking it up, slapping Mordecai on the back, and just being the greatest guy. And then come to find out that Haman has it in for Mordecai, has had a hangman's machine built out in the backyard, which was different than we hang people today. It wasn't a gallows in the sense we have today. It was a spear, a very long spear, and it was set in the rectum, and then the person was hoisted up in the air very high. They could see over the walls.
Oh, God.
Around, and that was
Yeah, some people are into that shit one, okay? Mariah calls that a Tuesday night. Go get my long ass spear. Not long ass spear, but my long spear for my ass.
Planned for Mordecai. And when the king found out what had happened, and then found out about this device, and we talked about it in our show, and he came
2:30 cowgirl.
He's all drunk, hearing all this. He's trying to sober himself up. He comes in off the patio, and he sees Haman hanging on Esther's garments, pleading with her for her to not tell the king anymore, or it cost his life. You know what a hothead he is, and how he can go off on a moment's notice. The king sees him hanging off her robes, is totally lit up instantaneously, exactly what Haman was concerned about. He's a bit of a hothead, and he's a drunk. And he orders the guards to take him and go hang him on the hangman's device outside. That built
makes sense.
for Mordecai. And he ends up being hung on this device of his own making. It's like in Proverbs, it says, "He who digs a pit for his neighbor will himself fall into it." And so,
Boy, isn't that the truth?
the Haman died by a device of his own making.
Isn't that the truth?
And that's actually the part of the story that most people don't understand from the Red Sea moment. Most people have never considered what the Red Sea was really.
It's not too late to have it in old, Carl.
That's what I wanted to kind of share with your folks today. See, we have this Red October, and most of the people.
I'm gonna skip ahead as soon as he finishes the part.
Are of the opinion that all this red, all this danger, Will Robinson. This is the end. It's all over. We've been painted into a corner. Is intended for us. That's not what the story really ends up telling us. See, when Moses,
I see what they're saying about the middle.
By faith, God promised Abraham, and he was given what God promised, a nation of children.
Sorry, I accidentally kept right-clicking.
The nation of Israel, what Joseph saw was those children had to go take and possess that land. And he knew where the land was. He'd recorded the travels of Abraham. And those travels were through this area where the Canaanites had camped out and built their cities. And by the way, think of it this way. The devil knows what God's saying. He knew what the family history was for the Jews, for the Israelites. He knew what God had promised Abraham. Where did these Canaanites come from? Canaanites, the children of Cain. Where did they come from? All the way back to Cain, this back to the garden, this brothers, half-brothers, fighting for control of the planet. So the Canaanites, under the unction of the devil himself, Moloch and Baal, who require the sacrifice of children to serve them, to feed them.
Well, right
these
there, that is the definition of slavery. And all of slavery runs with
That's the definition of murder. That's murder. That's not slavery. When you sacrifice someone by killing them and offering them to your God, that's murder, not slavery. Silly Roseanne.
that prerequisite, the sacrifice of children.
yes.
No, they were calling it Red October before the lighthouse lights went red. By the way, they've done that many years before. You can look it up. But they were actually calling it Red October before that because it's a famous movie, and it has the name in it. And they were tired of saying, like, it's going to be a spicy July and a hot and heated June and all the shit they said before.
And so the children, the Canaanites, go out and they occupy the land that was promised to Abraham and his seed, the Israelites. They occupy that. What is that from a satanic perspective, thinking chess 5D?
That's imperialism.
Well, the devil is blocking God. It's a blocking move in chess. He puts his soldiers out there, his players, his pieces out there to block the children of Israel from being able to ever get in the land. It's a blocking move, and he includes giants, big,
yes, it does.
Big stuff. So when Joseph saw the future and saw where the people were supposed to go, he says, I want you to take my bones with you. But then God, at the end of the plagues and the people leave Egypt,
Then God, do
they head straight for the place that Joseph had said going? They go straight to the place God showed?
That audio's wild.
Moses, he was supposed to take people straight to Canaan land for the fight. No, what he does, there's a miracle that occurs as the people are assembling, and the Egyptians actually have to pay off the Israelites to leave Egypt. Get away from us, leave us, take your plagues with you. And so they take all of their treasure, all of their weapons. Think about this. They took valuable weapons, swords and knives and shields, and they gave this weaponry. The children of Israel didn't.
Again, how does he know?
Gold from those that they had served.
That's right. They had all the wealth of Egypt.
All the wealth of Egypt. And think about this, Roseanne. You and I talked about this previously, and I think you're the one that actually specifically said it to me. That was payback, recompense for all the years of slavery. The gold and precious things of Egypt that were bestowed on the children of Israel was what they had earned in the 400 years of slavery.
Right.
They weren't stealing anything.
What did they learn?
And there'd been a war.
Rapper nations.
Because they'd killed the children of Israel. That was how Moses was born, in the midst of a massacre.
That's right.
And was saved through a blood massacre of children.
That's right.
Through that watery grave and
that's right. That's right.
Raised in Pharaoh's court. But when God had all the people assembled to leave Egypt, what appeared at that time? A miracle happened that was astonishing. There was a huge cloud, like a pillar by day, that went up into the heavens. And everybody, you couldn't miss it. It was like a tornado.
Okay. Tornado cloud.
A pillar of fire. And
fire, tornado, pillow cloud.
And it went ahead of the people. And it was like a guiding light or something. Go this way. And it was, you also had vipers, snakes in that area. And so this pillar by night, it'd keep the snakes away, keep the vermin away. So this pillar of
the vermin, keep the vermin away.
To protect them from the heat.
I'm right clicking mouse.
Pillar of fire by night, providing the warmth and also the light. And it led the way for the people. But when it went, it didn't go straight towards Canaan land. In fact, what happened, the path between Egypt and Canaan land took you past huge fortifications that the Egyptians
I don't know where
built.
the audio shit's coming from.
Rock fortifications were for defense, and they were at choke points where if an invading army was to come to try and do harm or take Egypt, these were defensible positions, and they were heavily manned. If the Israelites had gone past those locations, the contention is that they could have been, Pharaoh changed his mind. They could have been attacked. They'd be vulnerable, and plus,
That's right. They've been attacked. It's an attack
across their land on their way to Canaan land, and they weren't ready to fight. Even though they had the arms, they didn't have the skill sets. So God, not Moses, God took them a direction with the pillar of cloud by day and fire by night out along the desert road.
Okay.
Or deserted road, if you want to put it that way. But this barren.
Well, it depends on how you spell it.
Road, and over beside the Red Sea or the Reed Sea, and along the edge of the Reed Sea, and around all those fortifications, around the Philistines, to head towards the land that God had promised Abraham and intended God. It was a long way around. And while they were traveling,
God, his audio sucks.
Getting there, what happens? I was just talking with Jim Caviezel this morning. We were talking about, he took this walk, kind of impromptu, with Father Mahana, a friend of both of ours. He's the guy that actually did the exorcism of the White House for President Trump and Melania. And they took this sojourning that's called Camino, the Camino. It's where the word El Camino comes. Go trucking with your El Camino, your Chevy.
That's where it comes from. Gotcha.
Camino is the walk. It's the journey. And so Jim took this long walk in Spain, 526 miles. I guess when you walk that far, you know exactly how many miles you went. I said, about 500 miles. He says, no, 520. I says, 520, you know that exactly? Well, actually, it's 526.
I'm going to skip ahead some more. It's boring. I just can't believe how easily she, one, is confused about everything, and two, believes this stupid shit. She just hook, line, and sinker, man.
Fled to, and is still the place where people flee to, and it must remain. And the government of, by, and for the people must remain. So amen to all that, and thank you. And Shabbat Shalom tonight. It's a big one. But anyway, I don't know when this will air, but it was a good one. We'll do it again. We'll do it again.
Roseanne, I love you, and
too,
I'm looking forward. You've got the travel restrictions that make it so hard to get over there, and have one of the people. In fact, nobody knows this, but by the time this is out, it probably will be public knowledge. We have a airing date.
The
Sound of Freedom, and that's going to be
God.
Public. And then the other thing, by the way, too.
Are you going to give it out, or what? You're not.
I'm not going to give it out. Well, I'll let that be made public, but it is in February. And then the other thing is,
great. People need to see that movie. It's going to blow everybody's minds, and talk about people finally getting the truth and crossing over to the other side. I can't wait till people see it, because it's part of splitting the consciousness open that allows us to get to the other side.
Well, it's coming at a very
that makes perfect sense.
That is intended to be there as a lot of these revelations are coming forward, and so I think it's very important now that we have a release date. Does
anybody know? Hold on.
For the Sound of Freedom. But by the way, anybody that says you can buy the movie online or whatever, that's a scam going on. You can see the trailer. There's no.
So they've got a release date. It's going to come out. It was supposed to be for free. They raised all this money. 107 donated to it and shit. Does anybody know anybody who has seen it, personally, besides the grifters who got the screening or whatever?
No movie for sale online. Don't act like you can give a credit card and do that. It's
going to be in real movie theaters, right?
That's how dumb these people are. They'll Do it.
Large,
Widely released.
I think it's going to be the biggest movie in history, but
Oh
we'll
my
see.
God, I would love that. We'll have
Yep.
to put our mind to making that happen. That's cool.
Yeah,
see
and
it
we'll
that way.
work more on that when we get closer.
Biggest movie in history.
There's an event in Las Vegas, and I know you don't really
She's
want
buying every bit of it.
because it's going to be the one to remember. People for a very long time after this are going to be, oh my gosh, I had to be there. I can't believe it. I wish I'd been there. Don't be on the outside. The Patriot Double Down in Las.
The reason I want to know if anybody's seen it is there are people that told me there is actually a real copy of it online. Somebody that recorded it or downloaded it or whatever and loaded it back up. I don't know if that's true or not, but there claims to be a real copy of it.
Vegas on October 22nd through 25th. It's actually 23rd to 25th. Yeah, this year, just a couple weeks away now. If you got the chance to be there, you better be there because it'll be the one everybody's going, oh my gosh, I can't tell you everything, but there's announcements to come. Probably by the time this is out, one of them will be public, but I can't say anything prematurely, but they have guests that are going to be there that are going to really knock your socks off. So if you have the chance to get pockets before they're all gone, be at the Patriot Double Down. And then some of that will be live streamed over at 107 Daily. So anyway, just an aside, if people are close enough by, they can get to it. They better get to it. But there's only so many tickets, and then they're done. It's not a huge event, but it will be the one to remember post everything that's coming. So anyway, Roseanne, love you. Look forward to talking again. Let's do this more often.
I bet you do.
I just appreciate you coming on and doing this together.
Yeah, can't wait to show it.
All right.
All right.
Talk soon.
Adios, pal. See ya.
All right. Bye.
So I don't know what else to say other than eye-opening. She believes every bit of that shit, man. That's crazy. You'd like to think that people that you like or enjoy or watched on TV at one point or blah blah blah. It's not people that you dislike. You'd like to think they had a better way of getting to the bottom of things, of discerning between things. So many idiots get convinced of this shit all the freaking time. Nobody can do anything for them. You just have to keep on going. Just have to keep going. Let's see, what time is it? 11:30. Do we have anything short? Give me just a second. Let me see if I got something short. Since it's already 11:30. Let's see what we got. That's not it. Here we go. Here's some artwork. So the murder board's been updated. So here's one. This is from Groper. Oh shit, I meant to do this. Okay, there we go. So the murder board's been updated. He moved Bologna fraud. He moved Bologna fraud from it, which, yeah, I mean, I guess he finally stood up and said the stuff he was supposed to, but he's still doing some bullshit. Bologna fraud, for sure. He's still doing shit. But it's not the role that he used to play, I guess. And he updated some other things too. Hold on just a second. What else did he grab? He updated here's one right here. This is the Phil Godlewski doll character. This is Phil Godlewski. Let me grab it. Child mole person, I guess. Let's see what we got. Grifter, felon, warning, do not allow Phil to babysit. Pedo guy, Phil Godlewski. Rip Ashley, I have a seat, Phil. That's have a seat, Phil. No Tyrannosaurus Rex, no dinosaurs. That was his shot at dinosaurs never existed ever. There's no dinosaurs during his 100% accurate speed round. But no dinosaurs. Free ice cream cone from his van. Includes Cutie's poster. Q hijacker. Perfect. We have I highly endorse pedophile, which is from Brad Barton himself. Trump JFK Jr. We've got a cuties poster. God, that's disgusting. LARP QAnon series Mike Penny sold separately. Child Predator collection. Coming up the other side, we have Frog News. We have Liberty Fence Sitter, and we have the No Freedom symbol. Not allowed to visit his own kids. Unsupervised writes bad checks. Says Tom Hanks is dead. Says the earth is flat. Repeatedly with a 15-year-old girl when he was 28. Repeatedly with a 15-year-old girl when he was 28. Thank you for that, Groper. Groper's off into this. By the way, last time I just said MAP. That is I just said it. But MAP stands for minor attracted person. Someone who's attracted to a minor, to a legal minor. That was the joke implied. And what else? Oh, cheese pizza. Cheese pizza, of course, the code word for everything else that they claim is going on. It blows my mind that just because there's like a code word for something, people think that you can never say that word ever. So like if let's say me and my wife have a code when the kids are around when we're talking about having like intimate time, and we're like you want to, I ask her, I say, when the kids go to bed, you want to, adult, like as a verb, adult. That doesn't mean every time I use the word adult, because I would use it in and out of my life, that it has something to do with that. Like obviously it doesn't, but that's the same. The thing they seem to think. Anybody that ever says cheese pizza ever, anybody that ever accidentally throws their hand up and they screenshot and it looks like a symbol. Anybody that ever does anything ever, they try to jump on top of it and relate the two, even when they're not related. The problem with overinflating these stories and these narratives is that once one story or narrative is disproven, it disproves all the other ones that you have linked. So the other day I made a mistake on one of the videos and ended up pulling it down. The reason I did is because I know the type of people that these people are. I know the type of people they are. They would have taken my one mistake and tried to discredit all my videos. I guarantee they'd be like, "Oh, he didn't do this, so let's just discredit everything." But no, I mean, mistakes happen sometimes. And I got confused, called out the wrong person, whatever. But it doesn't discredit everything. It doesn't mean that you're meaning it in the code word form. It doesn't mean any of that. Just chill out, man. You guys get too wound up. But MAP is minor attracted person. What else? I think Groper sent me one more thing. Let me see. No, that was the only two. I thought he sent one more. That was the only two he sent. Let me try this. Damn it, where'd it go? Sorry, I'm looking for something right quick. I was trying to find some quicker ones that wouldn't take so long because we're kind of behind, but now I lost Telegram. Let me load it back up. Oh, there it is. What's everybody else doing? You guys excited for game night to start next week? I know I am. I still got to make M's character, Josh's character, and then move to Zay and Rayna. They'll be good. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to be working on the set pieces, and those will be done soon. There's one more thing I wanted to show, and I don't know where it went. I thought I had it open, but now the Telegram's closed. Ah, shit, I guess it didn't. I guess it wasn't that important that I could just fucking forget about it like that. Oh well. Let's do this. I want to see if cancel. Or Republic Network. I want to see if Jason Q has done any new videos yet. I guess there was one yesterday. Let's grab it and see what's up. Maybe, if it'll load. I don't want to watch the video from Daddy. Here we go. This is a new one.
A new adventure that they're now on. And it is all because of the kindness and generosity of you and us working together, of wanting to help someone else and expecting nothing in return. And it is amazing. It is amazing. I was very overwhelmed. I was honestly not expecting the feedback that occurred. I was not expecting the amount of emails that came through. And it has just been an absolutely glorious week. Like, granted, I'm exhausted because I have been on the phone for 15 hours the last 2 days each. And Tuesday was pretty crazy too. And yeah, even Monday. But my heart is filled right now. And I really hope that yours is as well. Because you guys have done an amazing thing. An amazing thing. See what an idea can spark, you know, and what it can turn into. Don't think that your thoughts aren't important, because you never know where it could go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all because of you guys.
Jesus, she's just rambling now.
Yourselves a big giant bear hug, or pat yourself on the back, or treat yourself, you know, to something nice, something, a special coffee or something, you know.
It sounded like she was trying to stop like 10 times.
But definitely, you guys made some huge waves for some people, and they are very grateful. So
there it was again.
Put that out there, because you know it's Friday, and I want to start off on a really good foot. I might not be able to talk much because I've been, like, honestly, my mouth hurts because I've been rambling so much, talking the last couple of days. But it's been fantastic. I got to meet some great people, and a lot of them are here with you guys, obviously. So you're in here, and it's just, yeah, hopefully I don't cry, because it's overwhelming.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
Overwhelming. Jason did Charlie Ward this morning. We got Charlie on for our marathon. I will have a YouTube.
Charlie Ward, of course.
So I
He's like Grifter Central.
Where to go to find it. So this YouTube is just going to be for this one marathon. So go subscribe to it as soon as I give you the name. It's probably going to be called the Truth Marathon. That's what I think I'm just going to call it. I'm going to keep it simple. And make sure you put the notifications. We're going to be starting on the 29th at 10 p.m. Eastern. And it'll be running for 24 hours. And the list of people joining is amazing. This is going to be sticking it right up their ass. That's essentially what it is. It's going to be great for us. We're going to get to see some new faces, be introduced to some new people, and share a lot of truth, raise the consciousness of everyone. And I hope that you share that with people. We're going to do it live on Telegram, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and hopefully Blog Talk, and our website as well. And then I'm going to break them all down into the hour or 2 hour segments, whatever they go through, so that you can watch like specific people afterwards. And I'll keep that up too. It's going to be fantastic. Everybody's really excited.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Everybody's really excited.
Yes, yes. Good morning, Jay. Morning. Talk to me, man. What's on your mind?
Where do I start? I mean, start in China, start in here, start wherever.
Well, I got some pictures.
For real? That's how we're going to listen to him?
Military's moving in Germany, and they're flying a Red Castle flag. It happened so quickly, I didn't get to load it up. So, but some pictures came through this morning, so.
Okay.
It's great. I mean, this movie is just something else. I mean,
this movie, something else.
Maggie.
Once they convince themselves this is a movie, there's no consequences for anything else that happens or is done to them. It's a movie.
I don't even
We'll rewind it eventually, and I can pick different.
really explain how we got to this point with where we got with the information, but yeah, you start chasing, rabbit hole down. It's very, very
Oh, I didn't mean to pause it.
interesting. Where
Very interesting.
And it is, I mean, needless to say that, because even when we have it all cross-checked with Hillary's emails, she had this in the emails.
Which part?
That would actually, prove without a reasonable doubt, without that, maybe she started killing spree early. Maybe she, I think she put a certain, she was a museum director in Washington, D.C.
Hillary was?
Hillary
was?
Hillary had her guy. Hillary killed her. Because Hillary has a lot of powers that people do not know about. That's why these people just drop dead around her and everything.
How does that mean?
She gets summoned demons, summoned spirits and all that. She's wicked. Just remember, how was she brought in? She was a part of that old Babylon working group from Jack Parsons and L. Ron Hubbard. That's before he went to the Navy. So when he was an a-hole, and then then he went to the Navy, and then he found the MK Ultra project and found the truth and was trying to spread the truth all around. But some people can't just, they refuse to even handle it. Even
I don't know how his audio quality gets so much worse in between shows.
all they know their whole life is just, oh no, he's real.
Joe Biden's definitely not real.
Oh yeah.
Trump keeps trying to tell everybody. People aren't listening. Where's the real Joe Biden?
Yep.
Hopefully. Anyways.
Oh, Joe Biden. Oh, way above him. Way above. And remember we were talking about the Quakers?
Yep.
And how they call each other friends and everything. And that came right into our purview, and I thought it was kind of cute how they the person that started it, his name is George as well. Go figure. Wow.
Well.
Last name Fox. I mean, George Fox. Yeah, we've never seen George and Fox in those drops at all. At all.
Nope.
Yeah. Fox 3, Splash. George, hello, George. Yeah, never have we seen those there. There, then, there might be some, little bit of fuckery going on. But then, then everything would make sense, and we would have another director with us as well. That on our side.
On our side.
Brian De Palma.
How do you say that last name again?
Brian De Palma.
De Palma. Okay.
Palm tree.
Brian De Palma.
Palma. Because what happened was we were you know what? I know exactly where it started. It started this morning. We gotta go way back to this morning. Way back to this morning.
There's no way. No way.
There's a video that came out, and it was October 11th.
That anybody can keep doing.
Evergrande Center, right?
Okay.
And
none of this shit is getting any better ever.
They're getting ready to implode like nobody's business. They're on a $62 trillion housing bubble.
Attracts viewers, exactly. There's no way that this. I would have never thought. Like, I understand, fool me once kind of deal, but at this point, how does this shit keep happening?
$1 trillion housing bubble.
Man.
Like, we're getting ready. Yeah, it's getting bad. The thing is that day's coming up. 10/22 is when China defaults.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's next Friday.
11 days from the 11th. Also, if the video came out on the 11th, I've explained all this. What also was that day? It was blackjack. Remember, we need to find that blackjack right there. And what they were explaining was, because remember how the housing bubble in 2008?
Yes.
Was like, they said they're going to wish they had that. That's how bad it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Is it going to be bad for China, or is it going to be bad for us as well because China owns a bunch of our property?
Honestly, it's gonna be good for us because if it's bad for them, that means that they can't. How are they gonna have any production?
Right.
It's literally cripple them. But maybe they need to do this to get all the drones out of there. You know, all the non entities out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They said that this Evergrande situation. Now, Evergrande Center, that's the $62 trillion housing bubble, right? Now, the property sector is 200 times bigger than that.
200 times? So that would be like 128 trillion?
200 times. So 62 trillion, if you multiply 62 times 62 times,
Oh man, okay, so that's a big.
He tried telling her the math times. You know.
Entire housing market is a Ponzi scheme because they all use generational wealth to just keep everything.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's just like, well, wait a second, man. Wasn't Ponzi scheme gonna drop?
I recall seeing it.
You gals.
And a lot of people, think that a lot of things are Ponzi schemes, but there's a lot of...
Oh, they just think a lot of things. Everything they see, they're like, Ponzi scheme, Ponzi scheme.
January 13th, 2018, when they asked us to follow him and the family down, that Mark Mezvinsky, Chelsea Clinton's husband, and it says he was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, grew up attending a conservative Jewish synagogue. Then it has the 2 in a kill box. It says his parents are both former Democratic members of the U.S. House of Representatives. His father was Edward Brzezinski, who embezzled more than 10 million people via both a Ponzi scheme and the advance fee scams, and was found guilty of fraud in 2001. 2001, they have the 3, the 4, and the 5 in separate kill boxes. Then it says his mother is Marjorie Margolis, who was a TV reporter and represented Pennsylvania's 13th district from 1993 to 1995. They declared bankruptcy shortly before Mezvinsky's conviction and divorced. Then there's a 6 in the kill box. Follow him and the family down the hole to find out more truth. Well, thing is that those numbers. Now, there's one number that's missing. It's number 1, right? That would be the D. If you put D class, right? Because D class is all in. Remember, they had these all shifted up in a previous drop. Or is the D? What is the D signifies Delta 4th year. So we had the 17th, the 18th, 18th, 19th, 19th, 20th, 24th, 21st, 22nd. So we're right there on the 21st. 21st, 2021. But then, when they mentioned that his father was father was a member of the U.S. House of Representatives. What state did he represent?
Well,
Iowa.
I was going to say I know because I listened to you and Charlie earlier, so I'm trying not to.
You think Iowa? Well, wasn't someone that we know just right there?
Yeah, Daddy was in Des Moines.
Yeah, and what letters this island again?
S.
So SS.
Daddy's Trump, by the way.
Don't say. So it's like they're pinpointing everything all the way down. And also, when you think that, so we have ECLAS, we started digging on these guys. On this, the Mark and, his dad and everything. Did you know that Obama not only did, the Clinton White House, actually, the Clinton White House passed up pardoning him for the whole Ponzi scheme deal.
Right.
What else Obama did to Blagojevich. You just let him sit there. But the funny thing is, what did Trump do? He befriended him and he got him out. What if they did the same thing to him? What if they've been playing him the whole time? What if Chelsea actually swung over to our side? What if she found out they weren't her parents? She found out that what if her husband was dead? Because, I mean, think about it. He's all these little girls around, mommy's raping them, and yeah. Probably pretty messed up childhood.
Yeah, that's why she started doing the same thing.
Yeah. It's not even coerced into it, just, pushed into it.
Mm-hmm. Like this is normal.
That's their normal.
Mm-hmm.
Say that Mark Mazinski was in the same way. Because the thing is, how they met, they both met at a Democratic retreat. So they go on these Democratic retreats, right? And they take their kids, but they're not their kids. Pretty much anything goes, right?
Yeah.
Say that these people just didn't have these like rental kids or whatever, and had these big gatherings, like big picnics, and just, I'm getting out with that.
I do. I mean, I don't want to imagine it.
And
she doesn't want to.
Because there was an article here, Chelsea Clinton's interfaith marriage challenge. I'm like, well, he's Jewish, but she's satanic. So I'm like, how's that challenge? It should be perfect. Because when they got married, they said Clinton was raised Methodist like her mother. Really? I mean, her mother was brought up through the mob. I mean, I wouldn't call it Methodist. All away.
His speech is getting more and more slurred the longer we sit here and watch him.
Churches, money, everything.
I wonder what it's going to sound like at the end of the show.
If they have a tax exempt status, you can move your
says.
the time. They're the one doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and think about how much money you can move. They can move children. They can move anything you want. Because who deals with the corporations? The Vatican.
A little thing on that church thing, just something that I remember from.
Wait a second.
Ago, when I had a different.
The Vatican, is that what he said? Why would the Vatican be dealing with what he's talking about? Hold on.
I mean, and think about how much money they can move. They can move children. They can move anything you want. Because who deals with the corporations? The Vatican.
A little thing on that church thing, just something that I remember from 20 years ago.
He's way the fuck out there. I don't even know how to reel him back in.
So essentially what it was is I was a debt collector for a lawyer. So people that racked up, really large credit cards, I got to call them, get them to pay their bill.
That sounds like a fun job.
Had the biggest issues with, like the most turmoil that usually never paid their debts, were the pastors. There was one in New York that I remember specifically, and they owned the building as well. And The building itself was, of course, paid for, and it was worth millions. And they racked up a couple $100,000 in credit cards, and they just kept saying, God will take care of it. I'm like, well, you're the ones that went out and spent all the money. You're supposed to take care of it.
Jason's Nasara is going to take care of it. What are you talking about, Kelly? What are you talking about credit card debt for? That doesn't exist.
Please, it is what it is, but my disgust for the church came from.
Well, his name wasn't Shalati, was it?
I won't say the name or the town. It was a long time ago. I don't even know if I remember. I remember it was in New York, though.
In New York City. It's the and then they had the Jewish chaplain from Yale on his side. I'm like, from Yale, huh? Why not have skull and bones right at your wedding too?
Right.
I mean, this is just this is damn good comedy and tragedy. It's a comedy and tragedy both of them one. Like, this is just a complete and guess where they moved to? They moved to the Flatiron District.
Flatiron?
How hypocritical is it for Kelly to say that pastors wouldn't pay their credit cards because God was going to take care of it? And she thinks that that's fucking crazy, thinking that God will take care of it. But they're also predicting the QFS coming in and taking care of everybody's through God when he flips the switch. Weren't the pastors just ahead of their time, Kelly? Weren't they just ahead of their time? He's not using that. That's a $400 mic. Even if he had it set up shitty as hell, it wouldn't sound like that. His audio's not coming through that mic. I don't care what they say. Not in this episode. No fucking way. Oh, I thought I hit play. I was yawning.
In the drops too.
Huh.
Building that's like a pie shape.
Okay.
Flatiron building.
Yep.
That's what
I remember that.
Were they watching her, or were they giving a tip on, hey, they're helping us or something? I mean,
Maybe be watching them Khazarians. Am I right, Jason?
I mean, nothing like having one. You think about having one of your own turn against you, but if you find out that you're not one of their own.
Let's see if he gets really excited anywhere. We're not going to be able to finish the whole thing anyways.
Not good. Lower Marion Township in Pennsylvania. So, now, the school was founded in 1845 in Philadelphia near the current location of the United States Mint. Don't say,
Huh. Where they make the money.
In Wynwood, that's Watch the Water, WW.
Huh.
Yeah, there's something, but when I started coming through notable alumni, right? This one caught me. I mean, there's a couple names on here. I mean, these are some higher end names. So let's just say that, all the, elitists and all that, yeah. CEO from the DreamWorks went there. But there was one. She graduated in 1953. Sylvia Hill Williams. And she was a former director of the Smithsonian Institution's National Museum of African Art. That's the one that caught me. Because there was a Hillary email to Huma asking if a certain African ritual mask made it back to the state.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why is that such a big deal? I'm like, the mask. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Just anything. Oh, it's just so careful. Who knows what they're doing? Dressing up, whatever. But you have to remember. I mean, what powers these people have.
What power does the mask have?
Remember the
mask? Yeah, but Jim Carrey. Yeah, used to be one of my favorites.
I was like, what the hell are these guys doing? And remember, she wanted to find Gilgamesh and everything. I'm like, this is snappy. So, going through all that, then they start talking about about Quakers and how they're founded. And the guy's name is George Fox. I'm like, okay. Hello, George. Fox 3, Splash 2. There's something just, it doesn't, it doesn't click with me at all. It just doesn't, I mean, it clicks, but then it's like, there's something with the Quakers, because they were one of the initial ones in the Finger Lakes area for the First Great Awakening. They were bringing all these groups in, creating these religions and dispersing them. So they're spreading this whole Babylonian secret Satanism just out. Go, just you guys go out west, you guys go here. Like, they knew where they were going. And that was just to the Jews. I mean,
that was just to the what? Let me just say, I think he said something there.
Like I said before, Judaism, Jew. Like I said before, Judaism, Jew, it's not a nationality, it's not a band or anything like that. It's something that is just, I mean, you could say just like, I mean, it's just a title that you can call anybody, it's just, I mean, I don't want anybody to call me a Jew because that's how you talk. I mean, there's a lot here that is just, I mean, it's beyond us. Because all these religions, you say something about religion, it's like you're insulting everybody's religion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like you can just get away from it because, why do they keep on calling each other friends? That's my friend, that's my friend, that's my friend. It's like, you guys, they're all Satanists. Right there. Satanists, most of them claim that they're Jews. Like over 80% of them, right? So, there's a lot that is going to be coming out with all this. And because I was going to go with the whole UCAT Bible, but that stuff right there, that Brian De Palma, think about the palm tree, and also, wasn't something with De Palma, that island?
La Palma. La Palma.
La Palma.
De Palma. It's like, it's still
Da Palma. La Palma.
What?
The Jews are switching it on you, Jason.
The Bible too, with the that's the one that they describe.
You got to do everything twice.
Right.
It's a worship of it's tree worship, but if it's tree worship, they worship it as a phallus, and it's usually the ones that like have the trunk, the no branches, and it goes up to the top because they want a nice thick bushy head, and then like.
The only trees that I can think about when we start talking about trees is the crystalline trees, especially with, the seismographing they did under the Devil's Tower. And it's 4 miles deep, 7 miles wide root system of petrified roots that they found. And it's a coincidence. Just a coincidence. That thing's not a tree, right?
What cut that down? I mean,
right?
Imagine the size of the person or entity or whatever it is, but to cut it that straight and to cut through crystal, I mean, we think we're smart.
Yeah.
Man, I felt so dumb in my life. Like, wow, we missed a lot.
Yeah.
At least we have that going for us. And so yeah, there's just so much we find overnight.
Do you want to show some new books that you came across? Because we talked to UCAT like 45 minutes on Monday, and if not, I am totally good because we haven't done like calls in a while too. But
what they could do is on that scribed, you can type in UCAT, and they actually have like the confirmation book. And
Yep, that's right. Jason did say this morning he found some UCAT stuff on Scribed. I forgot.
Yeah, he found it. He found it and obsessed over it. Added it all up.
It's not all the pages, but they give you like the first 20 pages, and it's like wire sound. I'm like, wow, just it doesn't like it mentions like some of these some of the questions that they're asking there, like the Bible and UCAT, and it's like to talk about the whole George confirmation, like if they're running a marathon, you know, like this is a whole marathon. Because in the beginning of that, they talk about it, like you have to do like a whole like a 10 steps, like it's like a way that you have to go 1, 2, you have to hit every station. So it's like you have to just, I mean, they're mentally just mind fucking you and training you into doing this stuff. Like,
over and over and over again, repetition.
Yeah. It just, like this, God doesn't exist. God is really an invention. I'm like, gosh, God is not an entity. God is thought. It's all of us. If we get together and we have
It's all of us.
That's our manifestation.
Gotta be.
That's how we could actually
Group thought.
Making changes.
Making it up. Making changes. Not making changes, it's changing it all. It's just making up the narrative.
Think outside they can't think outside the cube. It's like outside the box and everything. It's like, that's why they say, think outside the box. Like, the box is the Saturnalia. It's where they are. They can't leave.
Get out of
They
there.
just
Get out of there while you can.
always want to get out of that.
Mm-hmm.
No reason to stay in it. Yeah, then
There it was.
yeah, we'll take callers and all that, and
What?
that'd be cool.
It's kind of a chill Friday. Kind of a chill day.
It's hard to even tell what he's saying half the time. Let's see how they finished up here.
Coming out this week, and you've been really, really, really busy. Try it again. Are you there? Hello, hello. Nope. Okay. Area code 757. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, you're live with Jason and Kelly.
Yeah, I'm Eric calling from Miami Beach. Just want to get your thoughts on both of you guys for this question. I don't know if you guys are keeping up with the Songbird network that went live the same time the Canary Island volcanoes erupted, like the same day. You guys have any thoughts on that?
The Songbird Network? The Songbird Network.
The Canary network is like the test network for the Flare network, but their token is called Songbird. And it went live the same day the volcanoes were erupted on the Canary Islands. So it's like the same name.
Same day, same time.
Canary Island.
No coincidence.
If there's any connection there. If you guys know anything about that?
I wonder if they use the scale weapons like inside the volcano, the volcanic eruption, to get maybe some underground dumps right around there, because
bury the dumbs. Might as well.
The bourbon.
We're doing everything else and making up lies. Why not throw in a few dumbs that we destroyed it barehanded?
Prince Juan Carlos and all that, and they said Canary Islands right by Spain, correct? I mean,
okay, cool.
We'll get into that because I've never even heard of it. Thanks for mentioning it, because the Songbird sing, it's like, what? It's gotta have something with it, right?
Right, because we've talked about the Songbird and the Canary Islands, and there's a connection, but we'd never heard of the Canary Network or the Songbird Network, and we didn't come across that, so that's great.
I'm kind of in the XRP community. It's like a crypto, and they're kind of a lot of that community, and the Songbird community is very close, I guess. So I'm not sure if that has anything to do with that. And Ripple just recently had a commercial about a couple of days ago with a clock in the background. I don't know if you guys seen the commercial, but the clock is positioned at 10:02. So it's like there's got to be something involved with it out there. I don't know.
That's fantastic.
They're just trolling them now. I mean, they're just like.
They really are.
Wow.
I want to see.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Thank you for calling.
People are maybe like theorizing that maybe the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit case ends at 10:22, or I don't know. But yeah, I appreciate you taking the call, and thank you both. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for calling. Appreciate that. You know, those extra little data points, you know, sometimes we only have two eyes, you know, we can only see so much, but we appreciate, you know, because it helps put all the pieces together. Because there's different pieces that we can't always catch. So thank you.
Well, he's onto something right there with the 22nd, 10:22.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, remember, we had that countdown. 30 is, you know, done in 30, exactly 30. When we did that countdown, day 21 is on the 22nd. Now, if you had 2 + 1 + 2 + 2, that's your 7, right? But it's also the 21st day of the countdown, 777. And it's all right there. Yeah, I mean, that's, I mean, it's got to be. Well, they said that's the Ripple one, right?
Yeah, Ripple.
Yeah, correct.
Mm-hmm. Ripple and XRP.
So you got, yeah, I mean, and plus it's 2 days away from United Nations Day. That's funny though. That's some real.
Oh, of course it's funny.
I gotta admit. And then it's exactly 10 days from when Stone went on the clock. Stone's clock started on the 12th. Yep. I can see that. I can definitely see that. I never got into any crypto or anything like that, but yeah, it would just blow my mind even more. Just numbers and yeah.
I don't.
I'm like, oh, I gotta stick with this.
I don't believe where he's coming from. I don't believe it. I don't know how anybody else believes it. I don't know how people would call in looking for answers here, out of all the places to look for answers.
Thank you very much, Eric, for calling. Appreciate it. And enjoy your warm weather.
I don't understand it.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Jason Q is part of. Hold on.
See, this is why I love callers. I have an intuition for this, Jay. Sometimes we need to talk to the people because they have stuff for us. Right? Area code 573. Hello.
Hi. It's a pleasure to talk to both of you.
I'm trying to see.
Columbia, Missouri.
There should be a roster
I listen to you all the time.
in
Jason,
Indiana. Is that where he's from? Indiana, right?
I always listen. Full of incredible information. I did read something. I've avoided the vaccine like there's no tomorrow. I've had COVID naturally. I did get tested, and they say I still have the natural antibodies, so I feel good about that. And that was a year ago that I had COVID. But my question is, I'm reading now that if you have been tested for COVID, that the PCR test injected or punched something up into you. Do you agree with that?
There's something with it because
you know
the sticking that thing all the way up there.
There is something with it.
There's something with it. Now I have come across some videos that people have done where they've gotten in there and they have found that there were little moving metal pieces. Sorry, not medical, metal. You know, when they're shoving that thing up into the blood-brain barrier, what is on the swab that they are either inserting in there potentially, or there's something with it. But there's been so many variances of information I've heard.
Do you all believe that I'm in the same situation, that is the same situation as if I would have gotten.
He was a union iron worker. I'm trying to see if I can find him on somebody's roster.
I don't think so, because the test doesn't. From what I've seen and everything I've come across, I haven't come across even one data point from anywhere that the test has any graphene oxide on it or in it, and that is one thing that's in the shots, which is one of the big deals, one of many.
Whoa. So I wouldn't be one of the ones that get, raptured up when they take the ones that have been inoculated.
Yeah, no, because another thing is that on that they didn't have any of the mRNA, because mRNA is the big piece of this, because that in itself has that's all the nanotech and everything like the graphene. Now that stuff is just wicked flat out. They put it in our food, and people are going to be really, really just pissed when they find out how much of that stuff we've been ingesting for the longest time, and they don't care. It's like a slow kill for them. They just watch us suffer.
Well, the Khazarians hid it from us, Jason.
Now, when you had your test, did they swab your nose or?
It was my nose, up inside my nose. Now, people made me think they were going to literally jab into my brain, that it felt no different than when I
One right into your brain, lady.
past years back gotten tested for like influenza. So it wasn't painful. It wasn't so far up in there that that it was.
I can't find him on any rosters. Which I don't think he's worked in like 3 years, but I still can't find him on any older rosters.
The vaccine, because with that, I mean, you had to actually give consent to, because on the testing, you're just saying, yeah, I want to get tested. On the vaccine, you're actually asking, you're giving them, you're giving up your free will to, have something injected into your body, like a foreign substance. And that's where the whole mRNA comes into play, and that's your, your complementary DNA. It turns in your mRNA, it takes over and turns in your complementary DNA, which is the lowercase c, and then DNA. So C before D as well.
C before D as well.
All I had to do was print my name. I never signed anything. So I just had to print my name and my phone number and how to be reached, email address. I never had to sign anything.
No, I was talking about the injection, because it's an mRNA. It's in the vaccine itself. Because it has to be injected into your.
Okay, so that's the part I have to worry about. Yeah.
Because when they put it in your
No.
Just put in. Because, like, when they put it, did it push it, like, jab it up in there, or?
They suck it up my nose. I mean, they did stick it up my nose. It's not like they just barely put it.
That's where it goes, lady.
On the inside and moved it around.
For the longest the highest viral load it is.
Did you have any fluid coming out?
So if they're going to test it, that's where they're going to test it from.
Any what come out?
Fluid?
Fluid? No fluid.
That's what they try to do. They try to break that blood-borne barrier. That's for your cerebral spinal fluid. That's what they're trying for. So yours didn't get that.
No, I did not get that.
Yeah, but
like I said, I was expecting it to be a lot worse than what it was. So, okay.
Look at him just. What the fuck was that? Just stare at the camera. Hold on.
Being one of the ones that.
Look at this weird look he gives to the camera.
So, okay. I just wanted to see if I needed it to be a lot worse than what it was. So, okay. I just wanted to see if I needed to be worried about being one of the ones that, that will be going a different route, taking a different route to where we're all going. So
You're stuck with us. Just stay away from the needles. We're all good. I don't know if that's good either. I mean, it's like stuck with us. Like, oh, I don't know if that's such a good song right there, Jay. Like, oh no.
It's gonna take the long way. I guess worst case scenario, I take the long way, right?
You get lost. Like, what happened? I don't know. Oh, be blessed.
Oh man.
Because didn't you say that, for the ones that did get inoculated, that they go, they get taken 4 years, 400 or 327 days or whatever that is.
238.
338. But then they get to rejoin the rest of us, right?
Yeah.
Did I understand that correctly?
Well, there's no one answering her.
The vaccine.
Yes, if they took the vaccine.
Not tested vaccine. You have to take the vaccine. Because that's what has it in it.
Right, got it. Okay. All right, thank you. And it's so good to talk to both of you. And you guys are fantastic. And you work great together. So
Thank you. We appreciate
thank you for everything you do. Thanks. Have a good one.
Oh, man. Oh, such a good day.
Such a good day.
Puppies are being bad puppies. I think they figured out they can get away with things with me being busy. Area code 815.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Where is 815?
Hello.
This is Mary from Illinois.
Hi, Mary. Thanks for calling today.
I'm new to all of this. Like really serious. Well, not like the bull crap of the fake pandemic.
Okay.
Because it doesn't exist. But the doggies being naughty. My dog was just naughty. Chased the truck down the road.
I didn't notice what she was doing
So
until I
if you
saw
heard
it
me
in my
yelling,
camera.
I'm sorry.
Like, what are you doing back there?
I guess my question is,
Oh, so funny.
Consciousness level thing. I'm a mom of an adult disabled child with cerebral palsy.
Okay.
I pulled her out of a group home because they were forcing me to vaccinate her.
Good for
So
you.
I walked away from my job. I have no income whatsoever. And now they're threatening to, the lovely government we have, threatening to shut her off of everything, literally.
What do you mean shut her off of everything?
Not that.
Oh, like taking her
finances,
benefits because she isn't vaccinated?
Medicare, Medicaid. They just sent me a letter wanting me to sign to give them all of her access, all access to her medical records. And I'm like, no, you're not getting that. There's no need for that. I'm taking care of her. Long story short, conscious level, which I'm really confused about. I mean, I would like to think I'm conscious, but how do you help somebody like that get beyond, I don't know, a certain conscious level when she can't even understand anything? Do you understand what I'm getting at? I mean, I'm not even sure I believe in a lot of this stuff. I guess as far as medical goes, I know what the medical community can do. All I got to do is look at my daughter on a daily basis.
What did your daughter do?
Need to realize the satanic crap and all that other crap, because my daughter, that's the reason she was in a group home. I hired a woman to take care of her, and she raped my daughter. And it went
What?
uncrossed.
What?
The reason she was in a group home. I hired a woman to take care of her, and she raped my daughter. The satanic crap and all that other crap, because my daughter, that's the reason she was in a group home. I hired a woman to take care of her, and it was easy for me to realize the satanic crap and all that other crap, because my daughter, that's the reason she was in a group home. I hired a woman to take care of her, and she raped my daughter. And it went unprosecuted. Sorry, I'm trying to breathe.
It's okay.
And it went unprosecuted.
What?
Sorry, I'm trying to breathe.
It's okay. Just breathe.
Because they've done so much. It's crazy what they've done and gotten away with. And then now they got her on all this medication. Come to find out, the medication that I never approved in the first place, knowing I'm her legal guardian, but they put her on a drug called risperidol, which destroys the brain. And I can't get her off of it.
Why?
Because every time I lower it, it causes more and more brain damage. There's a huge lawsuit on a drug called risperidol. They use it a lot for the veterans for PTSD, and it doesn't work clearly. But it permanently changes the brain chemistry in the brain, permanently. And I never approved the drug in the first place. The group home did, without my permission. Lawyers don't listen. Nobody listens. They just let people do whatever they want, I guess, especially when it comes to medical, because they have their, plans. I don't know, but conscious level wise, with all these drugs that she already has, how do you help a person like that get past that? Which I'm not even past the conscious level, but how do you help somebody like that? I guess is my question.
That's something that for me, would go straight to med beds,
I think so. And
but they're not going to pick people like me. I'm not like my family. You know what I mean? I grew up in the city of Chicago. My dad was a union carpenter. Danielle was diagnosed with cerebral palsy in the 80s at St. Margaret's Hospital in Indiana. Then we moved out to Mendota, about 70 miles.
Thank you, Yori. That's what I was looking for.
I needed to get away from the city and all the crap that they were doing when it came to Danielle, especially forcing me to do things that I didn't want to do. But then they take your kids away from you if you don't do, if you're medical neglect and all this other stuff. I mean, it's just been a mess for years. So med beds they're not going to pick Danielle. You see what I'm saying?
Now,
they're just not.
Why would
and
you think?
I'm of the realization of that, and that's okay.
Why would you think that?
That they wouldn't take her?
Yeah. Where's that coming from? Why do you think that?
Because there's other people, I guess, that need it first.
Why would
the kids that have been destroyed and hurt by these rituals and the sickness. And I above everybody. I mean, I guess, having Danielle home, it's hard. I got to tell you. Trying to help her from the flashbacks and all they do is drug her to shut her up. Nobody will help me. Nobody. Not even my husband. He thinks all of this is the whole situation he doesn't even believe in. Of what's going on. He doesn't think the government
I'm starting to doubt.
doing this. I'm like, you have no idea what the government's capable of. They can do whatever they want because we let them. We gave them that power.
Well,
There is no lawsuit like she's talking about for it. There's one for gynecomastia.
I think it's kind of funny that Pritzker would be the one calling those shots because what about his older brother / sister that went totally, started wearing a dress and everything, and now they have 100 beds designated at the Lurie Children's Hospital for gender reassignment. I'm like, what the hell is that? Gender reassignment in Northwestern Hospital
is a piece of crap. I mean, did you know he owns the company for the chemical company that is going into the vaccines, and he also owns the company that makes parts for the PCR tests, which are all wrong anyways. This virus doesn't exist. It drives me insane when people think, oh my God, I got COVID. I'm like, yeah, you got a cold. Yeah, you got the flu. And all of that was generated in they made all of this. They made all of it, including the flu, the vaccines, the flu vaccines, all of that. But it's just, I don't know. Kids like this, I don't know if you know this, but in the state of Illinois, all of them.
Yeah, there is no lawsuit like what she's talking about.
Nonverbal, they were all vaccinated because nobody cares about them. They really don't. I'm an attestament to that because I live with it constantly. Danielle's not getting that vaccine. It's not going to happen. And if we lose everything, I don't care. I mean, I almost lost everything by bringing her home because my current husband definitely didn't want
She
her.
might be one of those parents that, like, something's always wrong with her kid. She needs that in her life to fucking have, because even the husband doesn't believe any of it.
And, like, let's add in all the poisons. I mean, I cook well. She eats well. But her physical body is, it's horrible.
Well, maybe we can help in this.
And
this
all across the United States, they all over the U.S., they shut down what's called the workshop programs. I don't know if you know what that is. It's where the kids can work. I mean, I call them kids. I know they're not kids, but like they can work and feel like they're doing something and they have, some sort of normalcy within their own world.
Yeah,
they took all that away because the government felt it was, slave labor.
Well, that's odd because
so that now none of the kids have jobs.
We still do that here. They're working at Flathead Industries.
Are they working through community, or are they working at a workshop?
What do you mean a workshop?
Okay, a workshop is like where they get subbed out jobs. Like, say, Walmart, for instance. I'm just going to throw something out there because we used to have that, but then it got subbed out to China because they get 1 cent as opposed to 2 pennies.
No, that's not what it is.
They'll put scan stickers. That's what all has been shut down.
Or they get
contracted. So now they have to work in the community and or other jobs.
Okay, so I need to ask you a couple questions for just a second.
Sure.
Number one, what's your first name?
Mary.
Mary. Do you need some financial help or otherwise? Because people are asking if they can.
No. Oh my God, no, God, I don't want anybody. Well, no.
Well, I didn't know if that could help you in any fashion. People, that's what's coming out with the people. This isn't just coming from us, Jason and I. This is coming from the other people that are listening right now. They're asking.
No, I appreciate it. No, please, no, I don't. No, I don't want money. I don't need money.
Nobody check on her or her daughter. Let's just ask if we can donate.
No, we understand.
Is there not a link or something? Goddamn.
Yeah, but no, I don't. I mean, I have food. I'm not starving or anything like that.
Okay.
Thank the Lord, my house, I have no mortgage. My house is paid for.
Okay.
Mainly medical for Danielle, and if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, then they cut her off. But I'm trying to figure out other things to get beyond that so I could detox her body and get all this crap out of her body that they put into it.
Right.
For the past 8 years. And yes, I fought it, but they always won because they're federally funded. She's in a federally funded group home, or was. Danielle's funding for 1 month to stay in a group home, a 24-hour SILA with $93,000.
Jesus.
That's what she gets from the federal government. Now, you add all these other kids into that, like that are nonverbal, that need more help. I mean, Danielle needs a lot of help, and not as much as the kids that couldn't walk, couldn't talk at all, or anything like that. Danielle's pretty low on the totem pole when it comes to cognitively.
I still can't find any lawsuit. So there are lawsuits. One of them was like for fake. I've been Googling it and trying to dig through some of these. One of them was like for fake advertisement, for dementia treatment. One of them was for gynecomastia creation, in children that were issued it. One of them was for what was the other one for? They had downplayed some of the risk associated with it and wanted them to listed properly, but that was back years and years ago when it first came out. There wasn't a whole lot. It seems like I'm not saying it's a good drug, and I'm not saying you should give it to people, and I'm not saying it wouldn't turn you into a zombie or this or that, but it doesn't seem to do the things that she's claiming, or be as deadly as she's claiming. But that's just what I found online. As for something like for especially in kids, if it's antipsychotic and that's the only side effects we're seeing a bunch of is like gynecomastia if you're under 13, and something else, maybe keep it away from boys under the age of 13, but past that, that's actually really good to only have a couple side effects that people are reporting. Anyways, back to her.
If Danielle gets $93,000, what's the kid that doesn't talk? He probably gets about $110. These workers that work there make $9 an hour, and they do not take care of these kids. They're mean to them.
Right.
for people, just like nursing homes. They do not bring the proper personnel in there to take.
Right? They don't train them. They don't care because they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
They really don't. So no, I don't financially need help. Like I said, thank God my mortgage is paid for. I got that paid off a few years back. Things like that.
There's nothing on it.
I'm more worried about Danielle.
Right.
Than anything. And like consciously, like all this stuff I don't understand. I don't know, like, what are they going to lift us away and take us, and then Danielle is left here to fend for herself when nobody cares about her? You see what I'm saying, where I'm getting?
Mm-hmm. And
Conscious level, how do I help her get there, I guess?
Something
I'm not taken, and she's left here by herself.
Right, but something you need to remember with her is that you've got this in your head that she's not a priority and she's not going to get into a med bed because you think you have an understanding that there are others that are a priority more than her. However, think about the things that you've just explained. That puts her absolutely in that same exact situation.
Actually,
please understand that.
They're in the med beds first. They're actually in a priority. The kids with the like cerebral palsy, all that, they're actually going first. And it's not going up. That's for the vaccine people. The vaccine people without free will. Without free will, they're still staying here because.
Like the one you threw off your show. So we're talking about.
Injected, that doesn't mean they get taken away and punished. No, not at all. They have to actually sign for that. They have to knowingly go in and have it done because. I've seen it where there was that one video where they went to one group home, what was it, in California, and they started jabbing all these, they're adults, and it's like they're not sick or anything, but they're just jabbing them because they think it's cute, so.
Because I think it's cute.
Yeah, they did it here. I mean, they're all jabbed. I'm trying to get her into what's called a day program. So she has something to do. You got to remember, she's been living in a group home for 8 years. The only reason I put her into there is because my house, I think, was a trigger. Which, how could it not be? How could it not be? Of what happened to her. But that being said, they did it to all of them. And this day program won't let Danielle come unless I mask her. That's not happening. According to the American Disabilities Act, her disability is one of the first ones on cerebral palsy that cannot be masked, as well as PTSD.
I'm trying to find anything about even like one other person besides this lady reporting that it destroys the brain, and if you lower your dosage, that it destroys even more of the brain. You can't come off of it. There's no safe way. There's none of that checks out anywhere on the internet except for this phone call.
Do this by myself. She's big. I'm not exactly young. I'm not going to be here forever, so to speak. But even getting help in the house, they won't even do that because I won't vaccinate her and I won't make her wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I was on the other end for so many years, being in Chicago like I was for so long, because I was raised there. But Illinois is 51st in the United States when it comes to developmentally delayed anyway. They don't do anything for these kids. They never have.
They will now.
So, Mary,
I swear they're trying to kill him, but anyway, I know you got other callers, so I better go. And I'm sorry for losing it, but it's just really overwhelming.
No,
and I'm confused.
And I have your contact information.
And I don't even know if I'm going to go up.
That's okay. I have your contact information. We're going to contact you after this. I don't know if it'll be right after the show, but I have your contact information. We're not done with just this conversation right now. Okay?
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Mary.
And I'm
thank
sorry,
you for
I got to
calling.
get my dog. So
that's okay.
Tell everybody thank you for the offers on money, but I'm okay.
Okay. Well, that's why they just,
Thank you.
People care. We care about helping each other.
I know. I realize that.
Yeah.
And I get it. I'm good on finances. I really am.
Okay. Well, we have some other ideas for some of the other.
As good as can be. Thank you.
I have some other ideas for some of the other things
bye.
you said, though, so we'll get in touch with you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was an interesting call with little to no factual evidence at all.
Fucking find this fucking person that raped the fucking kid and fucking Michelle Grayling.
Yeah, that's one of those that, sometimes you can lose your consciousness on some things. Area code 312.
Oh, hi, 312.
Hello, hello.
Hello. I really feel for the lady that just called, and she made me cry. So I'm going to switch subjects to something a little lighter than what I originally called for. You don't have enough time, a lot of time left anyway. So
It's okay, we got
I know
12
how
minutes. We can
Jason
cover a
feels
lot.
about gematria, and I feel the same way, that you can pick and choose what you want it to mean. And it was probably about 3 weeks ago when Jason was on with Greg and Robin that he had his cat Butterscotch, and he called his cat Butterscotch an asshole. So I did gematria on it for him. And so I'm just going to give you a little bit of that gematria. It's really short. Butterscotch.
Yeah, but so any psycho antipsychotic, any antidepressant, anything that alters the mood or levels of chemicals in brains or does stuff with, any type of brain interaction has to be weaned off of super slowly. But to say that I can't take her off of it, why? Because every time we reduce the dose, her brain just gets destroyed more, doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, no, you just need to wean. And I'm sure the company makes a chart for weaning off of it. Most of the every antipsychotic I've ever seen, the company makes a chart for how to wean off of it. And even if you don't miss the chart, because usually like height and weight and how long you've been on it, you can even go to a longer weaning process. But just to say, oh, it destroys the brain even more if we slow the dose any, like that doesn't make much sense.
Is an asshole, 276. I can do all things through Christ, 276. Reincarnation of King David, 276. DMT Traveler, 276. Plutonian Monkeys, 276. Great Masters of Masters, 276.
She's doing the same example I did.
276. You're missing the point, 276. So sick of these silly games, 276. Butterscotch is an asshole, 276. So there you have it. He is the reincarnation of King David. So that's what I do.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. Oh, that's so
and
funny.
He's a beautiful cat, by the way. I like the white and the gingers. I have a cat that's that color too.
I've got 4 little gingers.
That was fantastic. Thank you for that. But you just proved the point, of what Jason's talking about.
Well, where in Chicago are you from?
Yeah, this was the one that went together the best, but it's just like, I agree. I remember the first time I looked at gematria, it's like, do I pick the one that's godly or the one that's devilish? Which one is it, So, thanks for your time and have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Oh, thank you for calling. Oh my gosh. That was priceless.
All of it. See?
So all she did was put all the stuff that you could get from 276 in there, right? We did that. We did that same thing, and then made the one about Scott McKay. That's how we got Satan's Little Helper. 216. Negative 48, 216. Satan's Little Helpers, 216.
Yeah, that's just too funny. That's just too funny. I appreciate that one. It was hilarious. I can't even see my... Eric, I think it says 843.
Hi, it's Deb. You guys.
Hello, thanks for calling.
I am calling. Evidently, I've missed something. I'm trying to figure out where people are going. Are you talking about when they're being treated in the med beds? That's where they're going to be going somewhere?
Yeah, it's exactly what we're talking about.
They'll be, once that 7 trumpet sounds, they will be going up in the ships and getting healed. Because if they're here and they activate that 5G technology, we're going to have ourselves a really big problem. And they actually had this factored into the whole Revelations 2 with the zombie apocalypse. And There it was. So all the people that took this vaccine, I mean, that's what they had in there as well. So that's why they have to, be evacuated from Earth.
Okay, thank you so much.
Evacuated from Earth.
That way. I love listening to you guys. I never really started listening to any of this or diving in any of the holes till November 3rd. I am 67 years old, and my husband's 78. He thinks
You're fixing to get evacuated from Earth then.
And we both are parenting our 4-year-old granddaughter.
I was trying to see how she did the
And catch everything.
Descended from David.
I just recently stumbled across you guys a few weeks ago, and I just totally believe in everything.
There's a calculator called Gematria Nader. That's the calculator we use.
And thanks so much for taking my call.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for calling. And my 84-year-old father is awake to what's going on, so don't lose hope on your 78-year-old husband. Just saying.
Okay. Thanks, Kelly.
Absolutely.
Thank
you have a
you.
great day, and you got your
Have a
hands
great
full with a 4-year-old, and that's great that you stepped up and are doing that. Good on you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye-bye. I know. I love our people. Like, I'm just saying. Sometimes we need this for, like, our rejuvenation as well, Just saying. I got another area code 336. And then I got 2 more. We might get through them all.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Yes, I'm calling from North Carolina.
Hi.
I wanted to call about the woman that was concerned about, the nasal swab and all that. I had that experience where I had to do the PCR test, but when they did stick it up my nose, it tingled really bad. Well, come to find out, I had no symptoms. I had to get it because my daughter supposedly was diagnosed with COVID, so we went and got it tested. And I was fine, but I went to get tested, and after I got swabbed, lo and behold, I get a fever, and then I end up in the hospital somehow with oxygen and for 5 days, and gave me remdesivir, and I don't know how all that happened, but I'm thinking maybe it was a PCR test that did that to me. Yeah, it was really crazy. So I'm thankful I made it out of the hospital, but listening to the lady earlier, I just want to make sure that I'm okay, because after I got that PCR test and I was in the hospital, my nose was bleeding. So I hope I'm okay.
Just the one time, or have they come back more often than?
No, it was just that one time.
Okay.
I haven't gotten. I refused to get another PCR test because I didn't know till after I got it.
There it is.
But and then I was hearing all these stories about remdesivir and how that's killing people in the hospitals, and I was like I said, I was thankful I made it out of the hospital alive. But I just kind of wanted to tell my little testimony of what my PCR test was. I had no symptoms. I was not sick or anything until after I get that PCR test. So that's got to be something's got to be up with that PCR test.
I didn't get it either. I know people that did it to travel, and
yeah.
So I have no personal experience with it, and I don't think Jay does either. We're just going off of what we know, what we hear, and what we read.
Right. Well, I just wanted to let you know my experience, and I hope that I don't have anything inside of my brain that they put on those PCR tests. I know that there was some type of EO type gas or something that's on the tip of it. But I do those sodium chloride drops, and I'm just doing the best I can. I mean, I'm fine now, but it's just thinking back, it's like, wow, it could have been the PCR test that literally put me in the hospital because I had no symptoms. It was crazy. It just happened all so quickly, and anyways. So that's my story about my little testimony of what happened with that. So I don't know what's on the tips of those things, but something.
Yeah, and I have a detox. Okay. I will put this on Telegram. I think I've put it on there before, but you can use 1 cup of baking soda, 1 cup Epsom salt, 1 cup of 20 Mule Team Borax, and 1 cup of either
Yeah, I
pink
got that.
Himalayan sea
Okay.
salt. You know, take the detox.
That's not safe.
You know,
Wow, there's actually a lot for 276.
One tablespoon of baking soda.
No, cup.
I'm sorry, baking soda.
There is the Portland Trail Blazers, the Little League World Series. Linda Christensen Christie, the Portland Trail Blazers. Bureau of Labor Statistics. There's a bunch of them. The universe is based on threes. 129, 125, 147. And Domino was given to it. The Holy Bloodline of Jesus, 276. I've heard Tom Numbers. The reason I want to look at it is I heard Tom Numbers use 276 a lot. He probably said the Holy Bloodline of Jesus. That's probably how he got to 276. Shot heard around the world. Austin package explosions. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, 276. What else? Oh... March 4, 1990 is 276. October 10th, 218. 276. There's a bunch of these motherfuckers for 276. Anyways, Justin Timberlake Magic, 276.
Cup. 1 cup,
Oh,
1 cup, 1 cup,
1 cup
1
of
cup.
baking
Yeah.
soda, 1 cup of Epsom salt, and how much borax?
So baking soda, Epsom salt, a cup. It's a cup of everything. A cup of borax and a cup
Okay.
of pink Himalayan sea salt or Redmond salt. Don't ever use like the white iodized salt. No.
Right.
You know,
Okay, and put that in a bath?
put it in a bath.
Okay, good. All right, well, I'll do that and see what happens. I mean, like, I'm fine right now, but it's just, I kind of worry about, I'm just hoping that I don't have anything that's going to, affect me as far as with the 5Gs and all that, even though we have chemtrails every day here in the skies. And, but anyways.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that information, Kelly, and I know I'll let you go because I know you have other
That's
callers.
all right.
But
Thank you
just
for
wanted to let you know
calling.
that. Thank you so much, guys.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Something we have to
Also-
remember. Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
And you can actually go to order from Tractor Supply. You go online and order it. You can have it shipped to the house. You can have it go pick it up.
What?
I mean, it's a horse.
Oh, you're talking about the ivermectin? Yeah.
90 seconds.
I'm shutting her off because we don't like her.
What, $6?
I don't know why you'd ever have her turned on.
So
The seconds reminder on the prison clock seems stupid.
So I can even check real quick and see. In this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all can agree that it really sucks that we have to sit here and think about all these different things of, what has potentially happened and how can we counteract it and how can we correct it and, all these things that have been done to us.
This thing in,
Makes me
yeah,
angry.
$7.99 available online at the store. Ivermectin. Just like because it's a dewormer, and doctors will be up to laugh about it. It's like, oh, it works though. So.
Oh, my puppies are being so bad today. So bad.
What? The fuck?
All right.
Your
Well,
puppies. Is that code for something?
Well, just a reminder, we have the show on Sunday with Carol and our special guest, Kelly Love. Next Friday, October 22nd, we'll be interviewing Louis Herms with ScrewBigGov.com. And we have the marathon coming the evening of the 29th and 30th.
BigGov.com.
Taken care of Monday. You will have all of the information for sure. I will try and get them all out, though, over this weekend into all the channels so you know where to go. And we love you guys. You guys are amazing people. Amazing people. Keep spreading.
Are we though?
Jason's been doing some things on his side.
My puppies are getting wild tonight.
Kindness to others
Okay.
and remembering, reminding people that humanity truly.
Shut up, Kelly. Guys, that's it for me. Thank you for the donations tonight. I appreciate it. We're going to get out of here. I still got some stuff to do, working on the game board, some characters, some 3D prints. I've still got a lot of stuff to do. Get ready for the game night next Friday night. Make sure you subscribe to that channel because that's coming up. I'll be making some more characters this week. I'm going to have sometime I'm going to speak with M about his character. I don't know if he'll want to do it on stream or he doesn't have to. We can just talk about it in a message. Get the characters built. Make sure you subscribe to Cold Beer Creations. Cold Beer Creations, that's where the game channel will be at coming up on Friday night, so 6 more days. Until then, I'll be on this channel most nights. I might have to take a night to do something so I don't run out of time. But other than that, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you for being here. Don't get on Respital. That would suck. But yeah, we'll get out of here. Everybody have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Uh-oh, I missed something. There it is. Thank you for all the donations tonight. I appreciate it.
Teach me how to ducky. Baby like, what? Will you teach me how to ducky? You know why? 'Cause all my bitches love me. All I need is a beat that's super bumping. And for you, to back it up and dump it.
Pump it out.
Put your arms out front, clean side to side. They gon' be on you when they see you hit that Dougie, right?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody fucking with my bro from Morningside. He go by Bubba and he hits the dance with thunder.
Teach me how to ducky. Teach me how to ducky. Teach me how to ducky. Teach me how to ducky.
All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. You ain't fucking with my Dougie. Break it down.
你好吗？你好吗？真长你很高兴，这真快乐，没过来。
Teach me how to ducky. Teach me how to ducky. Teach me how to ducky. Teach me how to ducky.
I ain't from Dallas, but I deep town boogie. I show my moves off now if buddy trying to do me. I lead our functions and all the ladies trying to screw me. Now you just do you and I'ma do me.
Teach me how to ducky. Teach me how to ducky.
Word.
Teach me how to ducky. Teach me how to ducky.
All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. All my bitches love me. You ain't fucking with my Dougie.
This is a really hard job. Literally.
Help us.
Say what?
Help us. Anyways, that was thank you, BT. Sorry, I'm trying to I thought my mic was muted. I ended up muting myself. Thank you, BT, for the remix, J Reese for the music, Raina and Groper for the artwork. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for the donations and hanging out with me. See you tomorrow.
Go ahead and try, bury that shit. Can't forget, can't plan for this, but I've seen firsthand you can coexist. Get over it, holster it. Use this pain to outsmart these nitwits. Had to face these expectations. Had to push myself to make it. Amateurs wait for inspiration. I scope my bonus assassination. I can sit back and wait for death and ingest the pressure that's caught in my chest. Turn around and use it like a bulletproof vest and invest in the stress till nothing's left. All these would-be's, these could-be's couldn't see, they laughed at me. They still serving fast food. Now I'm headed to the top to the big leagues. Now they say they miss me. They wish me the best, they believe in me. I don't really care who I used to be, and all you want is the recipe. I keep calm, my head strong. Said it always fail, you're dead wrong. Found a place where I belong, so move along or get stomped on. My mind's tight, my chest tight. Play for best cause I paid the price. Got my money on Alex White, them bright lights, it's fight night. Another day, another struggle. Life in the fast lane. To afford a hustle, that's the price to play the game. I think about what got me here, this blood, sweat, and tears. I think about what got me here, this blood, sweat, and tears. Another day, another struggle. Life in the fast lane. To afford a hustle, that's the price to play the game. I think about what got me here, this blood, sweat, and tears. I think about what got me here, this blood, sweat, and tears. Could've gave up, gave in. Referred to myself as a has-been. Let it fade to black, let it end like that. Didn't come to lose, I came to win. All these mean mugs, these shoulder shrugs. Came through and got no love, no word of mouth, not talked about. Life suddenly felt like Fight Club. No saving grace, no stained glass. It's a baseball bat with a ski mask. My octagon was a bloodbath, not picture perfect, no Kodak. I stormed the gates of these lifeguards. Took what I wanted with a crowbar. A renegade, a diehard. I took charge with no there's no debate. Ain't got time to fabricate, no time to waste, can't contemplate. Let's take a risk, fuck playing it safe. These drama queens are stalemate. The king's a place and that's checkmate. They stone faced, I'm straight faced. I'm bored with the games that they try to play. Can't handle life, it's a blood sport. With no timeouts and no scoreboard. You can't ignore, get ready for war. Or the white coats and a psych ward. I've been there, I've done that. I've lost my mind and I've come back. My mind's right and my hand's steady. Now I'm ready for combat. Another day, another struggle. Life in the fast lane. To afford a hustle, that's the price to play the game. I think about what got me here, this blood, sweat, and tears. I think about what got me here, this blood, sweat, and tears. Another day, another struggle. Life in the fast lane. To afford a hustle, that's the price to play the game. I think about what got me here, this blood, sweat, and tears. I think about what got me here, this blood, sweat, and tears. With clenched fists, my hands steady. I'm ready to take this leap of faith, and my palms sweaty. I'm so afraid, in a state of panic. I'm a basket case. I step back, I'm hell bent. In this first attempt, gotta keep the pace. If God forgives, I'm ready to live this life full of unpromised days. So fuck it now, I'm all in. Hate motherfuckers wanna keep me down, and what goes around, it comes around. If heaven don't want me, then I'm hellbound. And inside my man, it's outside land. Set fire to the past, walk through these ashes, fighting for the best. Step back, Fred is shopping. Come and take a ride with me, motherfucker, hop in. Welcome back at a full clip. All aboard this crazy train. No money, no cars, no champagne, but I'm still alive and I can't complain. But drama free, it's plain to see. Getting used to these growing pains. Success is certain, back to work, and goddamn, I can feel the change. Side of the coin, I'm paranoid. On the surface, I play it cool and I'm afraid of heights, but out of spite, you put me up on this pedestal. But I love you, and I can't deny. Drive myself crazy with the reasons why I can't come to terms with the word goodbye. And the reason is there's no reply. Spread some sunlight on my darkest days, darkest days. Show me the beauty when the color fades, color fades. Give me the courage so I'm not afraid, so I'm not afraid. Spread some sunlight on my darkest days, darkest days. Spread some sunlight on my darkest days, darkest days. Show me the beauty when the color fades, color fades. Give me the courage so I'm not afraid, so I'm not afraid. Spread some sunlight on my darkest days, darkest days. So I sit back and relax, still asking myself the same questions. Ignore the facts, I can't turn back. God, please answer me, I'm sick of guessing. I clench my fist, it's gut-wrenching. Show me the way to the peace that I'm missing. I'm not religious, but remember this: I live my life with the best of intentions. Don't bullshit me, it's hard to believe. And everything around me is so diseased. So answer this: who the fuck are you? And who the fuck am I supposed to be? Should I listen to God and all his prophets? Listen to the greed that aligns my pocket. Listen to the hypocrites compared to the prophet. Listen to the pain that I've clearly adopted. I can't move on when I'm stuck in the past. Hard to forget with a flag at half-mast. Hard to live in the mood so fast, and everything around me is made of glass. And I wanna let you know that I got the message. Stuck in the rut and I'm up for suggestions, but where the fuck is the light in my tunnel? So hand me the balance, I'm starting to stumble. They always say that the strong survive. How do we know too young to die? When happiness is in short supply, they hand you a pill and they tell you to try. But I love you, and I can't deny. Drive myself crazy with the reasons why I can't come to terms with the word goodbye. And the reason is there's no reply. Spread some sunlight on my darkest days, darkest days. Show me the beauty when the color fades, color fades. Give me the courage so I'm not afraid, so I'm not afraid. Spread some sunlight on my darkest days, darkest days. Spread some sunlight on my darkest days, darkest days. Show me the beauty when the color fades, color fades. Give me the courage so I'm not afraid, so I'm not afraid. Spread some sunlight on my darkest days, darkest days. Yeah, I want you to listen to me. Now pay attention. Welcome to my sideshow, enjoy the free admission. The drama club isn't accepting submissions. Done with all that bullshit, this family's nothing to fuck with. Unless you really want it, then we'll add you to that hit list. tried to prevent these events to such extent. I gave in, I was hell-bent, I still lost you in the end. I take 2 steps forward and I take 3 steps back. You can hear the contradiction, maybe I really am a psychopath. The meaning in life, it's not a secret that you keep. It's days and weeks of feeling weak, no sleeping and repeat. Lose your mind and then you find it and get buried underneath the happiness, the pain, and you be getting no relief. What the fuck am I saying? All you faggots paying attention. God blessed you with ears, but you idiots never listen. I guess in what I'm saying, since there is no comprehension, my bleeding heart fell apart, let it be your intervention. Lean back, come on, get relaxed. Take another hit, headed for a relapse. Lose your mind with me. Lose your mind with me. Lean back, come on, get relaxed. Take another hit, headed for a relapse. Lose your mind with me. Lose your mind with me. I sit back and I reflect and I think about the past. It's set in stone, I have to view it through the glass. Made a lot of mistakes, I'm learning to adapt. I sit alone and overanalyze the aftermath. No straight and narrow, always seeking out a shortcut. And in the further back, see me playing catch up in the days of sit and wonder. Are my days really numbered? Shit, I don't know, but I ain't getting any younger. Not made up, but I made up. I suggested you just keep a zip. Had to lose my brother to learn the value of relationships. I can't forget, I take myself a little trip down memory lane. It's as real as it gets. Sometimes I scare myself from what I really might do. I keep telling you, I've got a couple screws loose, but you refuse to believe the things that I say to you. That's okay, you can join me in the institute. Lean back, come on, get relaxed. Take another hit, headed for a relapse. Lose your mind with me. Lose your mind with me. Lean back, come on, get relaxed. Take another hit, headed for a relapse. Lose your mind with me. Lose your mind with me. I am back, I am better than ever. I survived a little storm and kept my own shit together. But inside my desperation, I was seeking desperate measures. There's a change up in the season, and I'm just a little weathered. There's a thin line between happiness and misery. Pursue the truth, life is not a fucking mystery. Get a clue, common sense is not your enemy. I was just like you, concerned with just the victory. I used to be a hothead, got a firm grip on my temper. I'm on that next level, balanced and I'm centered. Pain is dangerous, it seems to be my motivator. I'm the type to shoot first and ask the questions later. Can't tell me nothing, this motherfucker knows I tried. I sent him messages, 1,000 prayers with no reply. Can't call my nightmares with a motherfucking lullaby. So fire up that cigarette, pour a shot that multiplies. Lean back, come on, get relaxed. Take another hit, headed for a relapse. Lose your mind with me. Lose your mind with me. Lean back, come on, get relaxed. Take another hit, headed for a relapse. Lose your mind with me. Lose your mind with me. Yeah, I'm really sick of dealing with this shit. I guess it's just the story of my fucking life. You don't want no drama, I don't want no problems. Keep my head above the water, keep my feet above the bottom. I done paid my dues, welcome to the drama club. I done paid my dues, welcome to the drama club. You don't want no drama, I don't want no problems. Keep my head above the water, keep my feet above the bottom. I done paid my dues, welcome to the drama club. I done paid my dues, welcome to the drama club. I watch my life become a circus, it's a fucking institution. These lunatics hallucin, now I'm fucking losing it. I'm cautious of my actions, don't ignore the yellow tape, my reactions won't be subtle. It's trouble, meet me at a hell's gate. Cause lately I'm feeling crazy, I'm panicked, this got me stressed. This 9 to 5, my family life, I don't need this pressure on my chest. You insist I not exist, I walk myself away from this. So cut this shit, I call it quits, you're such a fucking narcissist. These fairy tales of family life, and make believe, don't buy the hype. Your happy family's merchandise. I spend enough time, I can buy my twice. Want my advice, don't sacrifice your own life at any price. What happens in the dark will eventually come to see the light. You don't want no drama, I don't want no problems. Keep my head above the water, keep my feet above the bottom. I done paid my dues, welcome to the drama club. I done paid my dues, welcome to the drama club. You don't want no drama, I don't want no problems. Keep my head above the water, keep my feet above the bottom. I done paid my dues, welcome to the drama club. I done paid my dues, welcome to the drama club. Where the fuck's my crown at for dealing with these drama queens? I've tried to keep my conscience clean, been bursting through the seams. And this is my home, my throne, I'm not dealing with your hormones. mouth. Bullshit, you hypocrite, your foolishness, it makes me sick. Every dog has its day. It's hard to say that life's a bitch. My tank is running on empty, my patience is wearing thin. I give in, I'm convinced that revenge will be my best friend. I'm a beast on these boys, what it set me up to sabotage. Dead on arrival, ain't no reason for the triage. You don't want no drama, I don't want no problems. Keep my head above the water, keep my feet above the bottom. I done paid my dues, welcome to the drama club. I done paid my dues, welcome to the drama club. You don't want no drama, I don't want no problems. Keep my head above the water, keep my feet above the bottom. I done paid my dues, welcome to the drama club. I done paid my dues, welcome to the drama club. Nothing's ever easy in life. If it was that way, everybody would have what they wanted, right? There's a hole in my heart where the love for you used to be. Be careful what you wish for, cause now it's just a memory. It seems that only evil seeds flourish in this family tree. I'll never understand you. Your motive is a mystery. I wanted to myself what I did to deserve this. Sometimes I think you planned it out. There must have been a purpose. Never claimed to be anything. My life was never perfect. Look at what you did to us. Tell me, was it worth it? The pain I feel is amplified. The words are right and justified. No longer sitting ringside. Somehow I've been crucified. The things you said you can't deny. Hope it brought you peace of mind. You didn't waste no fucking time. So tell me now you're satisfied. Supposed to be my mother, supposed to be my brothers. But I'm not surprised at all that you left me in the gutter. No longer any questions, only answers and suggestions. And now you feel how I feel by the absence of my presence. I'm not ready to die, you know I'm ready to win. I spend my life on the outside, I'm sick of looking in. You know they build these walls up to keep you in suspense. I know exactly where I'm headed, I'm never coming back again. I'm not ready to die, you know I'm ready to win. I spend my life on the outside, I'm sick of looking in. You know they build these walls up to keep you in suspense. I know exactly where I'm headed, I'm never coming back again. You can't surprise me, it's become a routine. So let me bring you up to speed, I feel a need for coming clean. To be perfectly honest, lost all steam at 13. Started doing dope to forget the moments in between. I'll admit I've made mistakes, that's a fact I can't escape. Wanna lie and to apologize, a little too late. So don't regret the things you meant to say, regret the things you said in haste. Allow me to excuse myself and give you space to menstruate. Yes, I lost my fucking mind, wasting time writing rhymes, trying to justify my own life to someone to choose a side. You can leave behind the blame, but we all know you're the mastermind. And you can't deny you got a fucking axe to grind. So tell me how I feel, share your feelings, why conceal them? I guess I was a scapegoat, and now I'm just a villain. But my sun still shines, and my sun still sets. I know it must be hard to digest, but you earn this fucking gut check. I'm not ready to die, you know I'm ready to win. I spend my life on the outside, I'm sick of looking in. You know they build these walls up to keep you in suspense. I know exactly where I'm headed, I'm never coming back again. I'm not ready to die, you know I'm ready to win. I spend my life on the outside, I'm sick of looking in. You know they build these walls up to keep you in suspense. I know exactly where I'm headed, I'm never coming back again. You spent your life chasing after fucking fairy tales, and I know very well this life we need's a prison cell. You're fucking crazy, you're Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, not attracted to the evil, but you're flirting with my dark side. What I did was unexpected, it puts you in hysterics, huh? And it's apparent your reaction is generic. You surround yourself with angels and you're so close to God. To confess to him you're selfish and my childhood was robbed. And if heaven does exist and only God's allowed to judge, would lead you to believe that he wouldn't hold a grudge, huh? If I forgive you, then this cycle just continues. I think it's time to move on, be gone and just forget you. I'm proud of who I am, and in that we're not the same. I'll make sure there's a detour to avoid memory lane. I've got a fresh coat of paint on this dream house of pain, and it didn't take no Photoshop to cut you from the frame. I'm not ready to die, you know I'm ready to win. I spend my life on the outside, I'm sick of looking in. You know they build these walls up to keep you in suspense. I know exactly where I'm headed, I'm never coming back again. I'm not ready to die, you know I'm ready to win. I spend my life on the outside, I'm sick of looking in. You know they build these walls up to keep you in suspense. I know exactly where I'm headed, I'm never coming back again. Another day, another struggle. Life in the fast lane, too for the hustle, that's the Now they say they miss me, they wish me the best, they believe in me. I don't really care who I used to be, and all you want is a recipe. I keep calm, my head strong, said it always fail, you're dead wrong. Found a place where I belong, so move along and get started.